Hi and welcome. It's Brian from Captain Savage Aquatics doing this the late night live stream on Saturday night. I've been away for a little while, that's why there hasn't been any content out. And every time I tried to edit a video, it wouldn't let me upload at my wife's house for some reason, and I couldn't figure out why. I'm just gonna wait for people to roll in here. Got one viewer, which is probably me. What's up, Mr. B's Fishing Things? How are you? Hi, Island Queen. Island Queen, I'll be able to help you with the description on that new group that you sent me about. Just I was out, I had to go to work when I received your message, or finally was able to check my phone. Let's see, 4 people in here. Welcome, welcome for whoever else hasn't chatted, spoke up. Mr. B's Fishing Thing says I was just going to share. Queen, got you covered. Yep. I'm going to share myself since I have like 1,000+ people that I'm sub to. So I'm going to click. Of course, my mouse is being a wackadoo again. Sorry if I can't see chat right now. Just trying to get my mouse to play a ball. Sometimes it goes weird. I have to get a new one. I know I'm not saying anything. If anyone else is joining us, give me a second. My mouse is being a little ridiculous. So. Here we go. It's okay. I did it myself. It was rough, but I got it done. All right. Thanks, Island Queen. I appreciate it. Mr. B's and Fishing Thing says laugh out loud. Let me know how the mic's coming in because I've been having issues still. I haven't had the chance to change the settings and mess around to get my Yeti working again. So let's click on here, friends. That'll get pretty much 1,000+ people in here. New England Endler says here and lurking. Island Queen says, Mr. B, help me too. Thank you, Mr. B. I appreciate that. So it's good to be back. I was at my wife's place for the last week, and my son was really sick, so pretty much all week I stayed at her place, and I wasn't at my apartment, so I got a bunch of tanks to top off tomorrow. I just don't want to do it with it being so late and my son being pretty damn sick in the back at the bedroom behind me. That's why the doors are shut. Normally it's not, and you can see my 75-gallon in the distance. Queen says, yes, how is your son? He's all right. He's just got acute bronchitis. He's finished up his antibiotics, but if his cough doesn't change soon, on Monday I'm probably going to take him back to urgent care and see what else they can do, or right to the hospital and go from there. JH Aquatics, hello. Hello to you. Long time no see, brother. How you been? So my son's still getting over with his bronchitis, or acute bronchitis. This is going to take a little while. I've had bronchitis before really bad, and This takes time to get through his system, so even though he may feel good, he's still going to have that cough. Mr. Bees and Things says, Joseph. So, don't mind me, I got about 5 drinks sitting in front of me between the Dunkin' Donuts coffee I bought earlier today, Coke, some water, and a Miller Lite. So, I'm all prepared for the stream. Not sure how long I'm going to go, but I think I'll go until I get tired. So how are you, JH, everyone that's in the chat? I hope you're doing well. So all my tanks were off except for a couple that aren't on timers. So this one right here, my little shrimp tank and snail tank, stayed on for like the last week and a half, or anyways, a week. But with the snails being in there, there's really no algae, and the shrimp are doing great. I did happen to have a chance to stop by on Thursday, very briefly, because I had to pick up more dog food for my dog Molly. So I quickly fed everything, and now it's Saturday evening, and I just fed everything because I just came home from another few days without anything being fed. I do have some good news. I can't remember if I told you guys or not in a live stream or one of my updates. My super red plecos are holding fry, or fanning fry. There's about, I want to say, somewhere between 12 and 20 of them in the little ceramic cave. So that's very exciting news. I am planning on moving the rest of the ceramic caves and pleco caves that I have my 20 long into my 75 tomorrow, depending on how my son feels and how much I have to tend to him. I mean, that's more important. So let's see, Mr. B's Fish and Things. Dogtail in the background. My dog loves to come into the fish room looking or drop fish food. Krill is her favorite. Yeah, Molly will eat any fish food that hits the floor. V-Stag says, hi, Captain. Hope all has been well for you. Same with you. I heard you went, you were dealing with some things, so I hope everything's good with you, Victor. Long time no see. I appreciate you stopping in the stream to at least say hi anyways. Island Queen says, hi, V-Stag, with the wave. So, let's see, what else is new going on in the fish room? So I got a bunch of red pleco fry. The move of all the Java moss and Naha grass out of my 10-gallon shrimp tank that's not currently turned on, right there in the corner. I have seen a bunch of cherry red shrimp and snowball shrimp in each and every tank that I've been I looked at where I had some time to see how things were going. I did add a sponge filter, which I tried editing while I was at my wife's place, got it edited, but it kept failing on my cell phone, where I got a couple new sponge filters called Xinyu corner filters. I'll put it up to the screen. Got these off of Amazon, pretty cheap, 3 of them for like 15 bucks, I think, or maybe less than that. I ordered these a while ago. I mean, they are made in China. They got lava rock, pebbles in the bottom, some ceramic media. Then they got, you know, the different sponges for filtering. So I have one of those set up in my 10-gallon guppy tanks right here. This one, anyways. Pretty much every tank is set up on air now with the whole apartment air pump I got. So that's good news. What else? So I was thinking of trying 3 of these corner sponge filters out to see how they're doing. They filter up to 20 gallons. Got a little bit of tube. I mean, it looked like a DIY from a person, but it's got to be a big company if they're advertising it and selling it on Amazon to be able to mass supply the stuff. So yeah, it's working well. I just got to put a sponge filter in this 10-gallon and this 10-gallon. The ones I'm going to set up. My future plans are to take the 4 or 5 different strains of male guppies I got from PetSmart that are straight, like tuxedo, black tuxedos or blue tuxedos, sunburst guppies or whatever is what they're called. I have all the names because I found the receipt and I took a picture with my phone. So I'm going to set up 4 tanks like that and breed them the fancy guppies out that way. So if anyone's looking for assorted guppies, I get them up the yin yang. My goal is to start shipping stuff out and getting that all set, so people can enjoy some of the fancy guppies I got in mass and go from there. Chat's kind of slow. Any questions from anyone? No questions. Crickets. Well, let me do this, and if my mouse would work. Oh, it worked for a brief second. That's enough to put that back to live. I'm gonna put the link if anyone wants to join into the. Watch out! It's late night, so JH Aquatics. I'm gonna put the link to Google Hangout if anyone's interested. Popping in, not a requirement, but it'd be cool to talk to people. JH Aquatics says, V-Stag! I can't go really loud and a lot of nonsense. I don't want to wake my son up as it is. He's a tired little guy. I picked him up from the babysitter at like 11:05 tonight, so he came home and literally went straight to bed. Island Queen says, sorry, me and Carlos are working on the new logo for the... Yeah, that's fine. Carlos is awesome at making logos. Island Queen. No big deal, but if you need help with the description, I don't mind helping to describe the group. Or it could be a collaboration of anyone that joins the group to do a description for it. Come on, Mouse, where are you? I am having issues with my Razer Naga. I think I'm going to have to pull it out of the USB port and try it out and see if that helps. Where is it? Where is it? I'm looking for the mouse. I wish I had that little blinky dot that goes around it so I could see where the cursor is, because I'm on 2 screens, so let me see. Sometimes if I do large circles, there it is. Gotta love when you fight with mice. Pro Team Aquatics is captain. Thumbs up. Yep. JH Aquatics says I would come on, but it's too late for me to get loud. I hear you. My son's in the back room. Plus, with the air pump and the 75-gallon with the hang-on back filter and all that, there's enough white noise in my apartment. So unless I get really loud, I shouldn't wake up my son. Knock on wood, I haven't yet. So, excuse you, Molly. I swear she does burp. Probably. For anyone that's new, I'll go over what I've done in my tanks recently, like JH and people that haven't been here, V-Stag. So, what I've done, I've taken out of the 22 bow front, the angels, the one angel, and any other fish, rainbows that were in the 22 bow front, or 20 bow front, whatever you want to call that. It's a weird number, 22 or 23. And I've moved them to my 75-gallon. Since then, I cleared out a lot of the Java moss, like huge clumps. That's one of it in my 75. There's another one somewhere down here off the screen where the rock's in the way. I moved Java moss into a bunch of different tanks. I bought some more plants lately, different types. I've moved shrimp or Naha grass in for my 10-gallon shrimp tank right there where Molly is. And I've moved some of that into all my tanks pretty much. So any shrimp that were on it, like shrimplets and stuff like that, if they didn't jump over or jump off in the thing, transferred into my other tank. So I got pretty much shrimp in every tank, probably except for the 125 and the 75 in the bedroom. I picked up, when my parents moved, I took their fish in. They had 5 glowfish, tetra glowfish, you know, pinks or purples, and like three pinks and like 2 yellows, and then they had a pleco. Angelo BX Aquarius, what's up, Angelo? How are you? Jamie McDonald, welcome. Jamie says, hello, Brian. Hello, everyone. And Angelo gives the rad sign, or whatever you want to call it. Welcome, welcome. Angelo, did you change your name? Is this the same Angelo? New England Endler says, I'm thinking of starting large jars with a blue or red shrimp, a male Endler, rocks from outside, the trimmings from my plants to sell in yard sales this May, June. I think they will sell. Yeah, also you could sell it on the Facebook Marketplace. That's where I found a lot of different plants locally to me that are only like an hour or 2 away. Yes, people ship them to me because a lot of people kind of wary still, even with Facebook Marketplace, to let people show up and buy the plants off of them. I think $5 each is a fair price. Yeah, I would say for depending on what plants they are, depending on the clump, that's pretty good. That's a different Angelo. Okay. Well, Angela BX Aquarist, welcome, welcome. I sub to anyone that's new to my channel automatically. Most of the people in the fish fam do the same. So let's make sure. I'm pretty much subbed to almost everyone that's I've been in things. Yeah, I'm already subbed to you. My tilapia, I don't even want to say. It's a hurricane tilapia. That's cool. Looks like a fairly new channel. So I was already subbed to you, so I must have subbed to you somewhere else. Let's see. JH Aquatics says, I just went live with the store on Get Gills. There's a lot of good stuff and sellers on the site. So yeah, I've heard Get Gills a bunch. So I'm going to check them out. So maybe I'll post things up to Aquabid for assorted guppies, like or a trio, 2 female fancy guppies and a male guppy. Let them pick out the male, put some pictures up, give them rough what colorings I have, or something like that, or do 1 male, 1 female. Obviously, you always throw an extra one in when you're shipping, just in case. So a lot of good stuff and sellers on that site. So I'll check those out and I'll go through there. Then Mr. Fish Tropic El Tropico sent me a message saying, E-Money's live. Well, he should come in here and we should join stream. So is Captain. Thank you for sending that to him. He should have got the ring. Yeah, Fish Tropic. Yeah, he says, oh, Cap's alive. Live. Yes. I said that earlier when I was in no notification. That's weird because make sure you're subbed to me, Jason. Because you might have got unsub that sub. Posted in the group. VB23, what's up? Buddy, VB23, I owe you some super red pleco fry. Super red pleco fry. I just had a huge spawn of them. So about 20 of them. They're this little, they don't get the egg sacs anymore. They're in a terracotta pleco cave. So when I can get in there and get the male or female or both of them out of there, I'll take the fry and put them probably in this 3-gallon shrimp tank, and let them grow out for about 2 or 3 weeks, and then I'll ship some to you, BB. I know I owe you some. I'll ship you a couple. This fry will be better probably on the shipping. Nick the Dick says, hey, Cappy. Fish Tropic says, Cappy, what's going on? Not much is going on. My son's in the bedroom behind me. That's why I don't have the door open with the 75 shining in the background. Send me some pictures. I will. I did take some pictures of them, or I lit it up late at night before I met my wife. So this would have been last Sunday. I did this. I just turned on my camera light and looked in there when the tank was completely off and the thing was in there. I counted at least 12, but I think there's more like 20 or 30 in there. They're little tiny things. They're only maybe an inch long. Somewhere be maybe not an inch, but like a quarter or half an inch right now. So I'll send you some pictures, VB. Let me throw the link to the Google Hangouts in here in case anyone wants to join again, since we've had a bunch of new people come hop in the stream. Yes, VB. Been there, done that. Before I left, I threw a bunch of green beans in all my tanks. Even though I know it could foul the water, but with the amount of snails and stuff I have in my tanks and fish, especially the 75, the amount of plecos that are in that tank, I could put a whole can in it, or half a can, and it probably would be gone within a day or two, tops, in the tank. So I plan on feeding. That was last Sunday that I dumped it, and when I came home on Thursday to grab Molly's food, because I was going to get stuck up there till today at my wife's place, I fed them more green beans on Thursday, and they're gone already. So I've literally put a can of green beans about into that 75-gallon. There's a lot of baby fry from a bunch of different fish in there, like convicts. There's a bunch of baby fry of those. I know those breed like crazy. Then you got the chocolate plecos in there that are breeding, the super red plecos that are breeding, and I did move my probably 2 or 3 rubber lip plecos from that 18-gallon tote that's sitting on the floor into that tank too. So that tank's loaded up with plecos. Plus, my parents, I think it's a hyphen pleco, is in that tank too that I got from them. It might be a common. I told them to get a little rubber lip pleco, but they probably forgot. So it does look like a hyphen to me. So that's in that tank too. So I probably have about, without babies, probably 30 fish in the 75-gallon, ranging from 2 inches probably up to 5. So, but it's over filtered, so I'm not worried about it. New England Endler says, other than Narite snails, I don't think snails are worth the bio load. I have mystery snails that I feed to my Fahaka puffer, and he'll eat the fancy guppies that are in my 20-gallon tank if I don't miss a couple days of feeding. He'll chase down the fry or whatever. So he'll eat well. I did drop bloodworms and brine shrimp frozen into all the guppy tanks, including the 20-gallon with my Fahaka puffer in it. So he'll eat well, fatten him back up. BB23 says, keep up with your water changes. Overfeeding mean frequent water changes. Well, it all depends on how much you're filtering too. I know what you're saying. I'll do a top off. I'll check every tank tomorrow. I'll test every tank with the 6 test strip for everything to check for ammonia, nitrate, all that fun, happy stuff. The super reds are good. I do have, let's see, I think I counted 4 females and 2 males anyways in the 75. So there's a good combination of females to males, varying in females vary in size from probably 3 or 4 inches long all the way up to almost 5. So all my super red plecos are in that 75-gallon tank in the bedroom. So they're quite well. I do check the 75 due to how many fish I have in there, but I also have the Fluval 406 or 404 filtering that tank that I think is good for up to 50 or 75 gallons or something, or 70 gallons. Plus I have my Hang On Back Aqua Clear 70 on that, and I have 2 20-gallon sponge filters in there. So I think I got enough filtration on that 75. Let's see. Fish Tropic gives a thumbs up and says okay. So anyone that feels like they want to jump in and say hi into the Google Hangouts, I'll throw the thing in there. New England Endler says, I do water changes every 2 to 4 months. Let the plants do the work. I do have a lot of plants in my 75. I had a bunch of Naha grass, but I cut that back in half or a quarter. Pretty much since I put the Fluval 404 on it, the duckweed's like non-existent in that tank anymore. If it is, it's where the plants that are at the surface are. It's all bunched up in there. Or the Fluval 404 sucked it in, which I seriously doubt because I have a pre-filter on it. So yeah, that's pretty much what's been going on. I do have other plants in there, like 2 or 3 Anubias Nana Petites with probably 12 or 14 or 15 leaves on them each. I do have the big, can't remember what it is, but it's massive leaves in there. It's like a 5-stem plant. Pretty big that I have under my the one piece of wood that I have in the Bonnie driftwood. What else do I have in there? I got some other grasses in there or whatever. I can't remember that thing. It's not Naha grass. It's another one. Maybe it's dwarf sage or something in there. I got 4 or 5 or 6 of those. Not a lot, but it really hasn't taken off, probably because how deep the tank is. So, VB23 says, I do weekly water changes because I have plecos. Water changes make me feel accomplishment. Joel GNZ, New Zealand is in the house. He says, hello. How you doing, buddy? Let's see. What's this notification? Maybe Jason talking to me. The risk of the real fish fam 8 minutes ago. So that's what's been pretty much going on. 7 people. So let me do a shout out to everyone that's in the channel when I get my mouse back. So if you're here and you're lurking, what's up there? Says Tin. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong.
Hello. Can you see me?
You're coming in low. Let me turn you up a little bit.
This is Captain Savage.
Yep, this is Captain Savage. My name's Brian.
I'm VP23.
Savage. Come on, mouse, work with me.
It's VP23. I'm in my room.
Give me a second. I'm going to turn you up a little bit because you're coming in kind of low. So looks like you're streaming from a phone.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, a little bit better. Let me just turn you up. Oh, that's too loud. Much better.
How about now?
Much better.
All right. How's it going, buddy?
It's going. What's this, VB?
Yep.
How you doing, buddy?
Young, handsome man.
So how's your tanks going?
Yeah, I'm hoping for some snow. No school Monday.
No school Monday? Yep. Yeah, because you guys are getting that big storm that's going to stay south of New York, right?
Yeah.
Cool. So you said you were going to, in the chat, you said you were planning on getting another longfin super red?
Yeah.
That's cool. How many do you have right now?
Right now I have 3 plecos in total. One 182 Starlight pleco. You know those?
Yep.
2 super red, 1 short fin, and 1 long fin.
Nice. What are you trying to see if you got a male and a female? Hoping for that?
Just keeping them for fun.
Oh, okay. Very nice.
If they breed, then they breed. I mean.
So let's see. Let's make sure I'm not. You said you do weekly. Oh yeah, I read that. I was gonna go shout the people out that are in the stream or in the chat when my mouse decides to work again.
How's life?
And the funny thing is, I got you know what? I'm just gonna take it back to Best Buy and have them give me another one. I did the square trade thing and it put like a 3-year thing on it. So tell them give me a new mouse. It's not working properly. Molly. All right. So let me see. All right. We got Joel G and Z in the house. VB23. Island Queen. Fish Tropic. New England Endler. Nick the Dick. I gotta scroll up. Angelo BX Aquarius.
Hello, everybody.
JH Aquatics.
Hi, Joseph.
Let's see. Island Queen, Beef Stag. Making sure I didn't miss anyone. Mr. B's Fishing Things. Jamie McDonald. All in the chat. So whoever's lurking, say something in case I missed your name. I like to give everyone a shout out once in a while. So do you, what are you in your bedroom? Do you have any fish tanks in there?
Nah, I only have one tank. I only have one tank and it's downstairs.
Oh, okay. And you're trying to keep it quiet because you don't want to get in trouble with the parents, huh?
How do you know?
Come on, we were all kids at one point.
I actually sold some plants and snails and voice bites today. Made $7.
That's not bad. Any little bit of money you can earn in the fish hobby is good. Can help buy you new food, another fish, you know, depending on what they are. Don't mind me. So let's see, what else have I done in the fish room lately? It's been weird being away from my apartment for like a week. You know.
Just switch my water change day to Friday because I feel so lazy on a Saturday.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Do it while you're still active. I know how it is. I get sedentary on the weekends when it's tomorrow, or actually today, I believe it's Sunday now, my time, East Coast time, just like you. I get lazy on Sundays and Mondays. If anything I do, I'll stream and make a couple quick videos, but I might not edit them till Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday and then throw them out there, you know?
So you used to serve in the military?
Yes, I did.
Tell us about it.
Tell us about it. A lot of the people in here have already heard my story. So I was in the military from 2000, November of 2000 to November 2004. Did my training at PI, you know, Marine Corps, in Parris Island, South Carolina. Then I did my schooling in Camp Lejeune, or one of the little camps they have near Camp Lejeune, for my combat engineering training. Did that for like 3 or 4 months. Then I went to the fleet, to my unit, whereas I was stationed Camp Lejeune, North Carolina, with 8th ESB, 2nd FSSG. And that's where I went to Iraq my 3rd year, or 2.5 years in, almost 3 years in at that point. Did the stint over there for about 8 or 9 months between Kuwait and Iraq. I think in Iraq I was there for 6.5 months. And then the rest of the time I was in Kuwait and waiting to go back stateside, or get ready to go in for the war. So I was in the second war, not Desert Storm, but Iraqi freedom.
Do you do any fighting?
Oh yeah, I've been shot at, almost blown up. Shot at quite a bit. Did some shooting back. Helped build or put the bridges across the Tigris or Euphrates rivers so the tanks and troops could keep moving up, because Saddam blew most of the bridges going to Baghdad. So there was only like one main route to get to Baghdad. And his goal on doing that was to make us have to funnel onto one bridge or one main bridge to get in. Actually, I think he even blew that when we moved, left Kuwait, when the president says you have
Man,
some.
that's impressive, man. Thanks for your service.
Yeah, no problem. It is what it is. I wanted to be in the military since I was a kid, and a Marine Corps since I was a kid. So
That's tough training.
oh yeah, it is. Some of the hardest, besides going to secondary schools, like since the Marine Corps is a department of the Navy, it's not its own official branch technically. Like we can cross train, and if you have a really good PFT and you get selected, you can try and apply to go to Navy SEALs and all that stuff. You know, do buds or
Does it pay well? Marines?
well, everyone gets paid the same. Just it's different ranking and different names for ranks and the different services. So everyone starts at E1, which is a private with no chevron. Then you hit PFC and work your way up, and you get more chevrons. Every grade you go up, it's either up on top or on bottom. You know, like staff NCOs, instead of like after you pick up sergeant, which is 3 stripes up, staff NCOs, which is a staff sergeant, you get the 1 stripe below. That's kind of like not an oval, but like a half a circle underneath. It kind of looks like a U. This without
Yeah,
the tail.
that's dope. That's all I know.
Yeah. So, long story short, I picked up corporal. I was in Okinawa, Japan. While I was there, or just as I got there, I was supposed to pick it up when I was in Kuwait when we first got there. They made it 3/4 of the way through my company, promoting people meritoriously in country, as they call it, in Kuwait. And I was the next one to be promoted before the general or colonel on base where we were at said, "Stop that shit." I want to see a pic of captain in his uniform. I'll have to take pictures or find the CD with all my photos on it. I might just take pictures or bring them somewhere if the money, it's not too bad of money, and have them all put into a digital format. That way I can put them on my, like the Facebook group I started, or share them with the fish fam. But I do have ones where we were waiting to go into Kuwait. We were supposed to go in like 6 or 12 hours later. So it was after that 72-hour threshold, before the 72 hours was up. So we were sitting on the Kuwait border and Iraq border. But real quick, I wanted to say to the thing, DPK Fish Aquariums is in the house. Hi, Carlos. How are you? He says, hi, Cappy, and everyone here listening and jumping back and forth through streams. That's
So
cool.
what do you do? Oh, sorry, my bad.
Hold on just one more second. Joel GNZ says, did you ever sneak a grenade home and throw it somewhere fun? I would rather not say, because I could get in trouble. Either way, if I say yay or nay, it doesn't matter. I don't want to get in trouble. So, and Island Queen sees DPK is stream hopping. Candy Overhaul's head stopping in to say hi. How you doing, Candy? Long time no see.
Hello, Candy.
Joel G says, laugh my ass off. Island Queen says, hopping. Let me throw the link back out here again for the anyone if they want to join the Google Hangout. No pressure. HC Aqua says hello. Hello to you.
Hello, Jesse.
Aquarium Cop's in here too. Oh, wow. We got the copper in. Sweet. Where's Curly Bunny? Is she around? Or is she at work?
I think this is the first time I've did a hangout with the fish fam.
Yeah. Well, it's good to have you.
Oh, thank you for letting me on.
Oh, yeah. It's anyone can hop in. With a Google Hangout, you can have up to 10 people in one Google Hangout. Otherwise, you got to use another software like some type of webinar software, or I can't remember what it is, but I have it on my computer where you can have up to 50 or 100 people in at one time. Candy Overhaul says, hi, Joel. Candy says, nice to see you, Brian. Hi, VB. HE Aqua says, "Who's that? That's VB23. He's in the live stream or in the Google Hangout." Candy Overhaul says, "Hey cop." HE Aqua says, "Oh, V." Island Queen says, "Hi Curly Bunny." Candy Overhaul says, "Hey Curly." Right. So, what was I talking about? My military time. Not much to really say. I can do a separate live stream where it's like labeled other and do that where I can just talk about the military all in a few hours.
Was it a traumatizing experience? Because I know like a lot of veterans, they still like experience like stress or like stuff from their service.
Yeah, I have post-traumatic stress disorder from my service from the time I was over there and other things that happened while I was in the military. I'm pretty much in a fairly open book. There's certain things I won't talk about just because, you know, not the time or the place type of a thing. But hold on. Aquarium Cop says, "Candy, Jesse, Island, BB," saying hi, I guess. Girly Bunny EMT says, "Hi, Island. Hi, Jesse. Candy," gives a wave. HE Aqua says, "Hey, Darcy." Island Queen says, "Candy, can you share the stream to the fish fam group, please?" Island Queen says, "Hi, Aquarium Cop." HE Aqua says, "Hey, Cop." So what were you saying? Sorry.
Did you know that you would have to deal with PTSD coming in, like before you joined?
Not really. Everyone has PTSD in their own way. From childhood, at some point, they just was in a really bad car accident, saw something, saw someone get hit on the road or get hit by a bus. You never know. Or they're in a really bad neighborhood and see people get shot. You know, whatever. So everyone has some type of post-traumatic stress disorder. But
fortunately, I haven't had to experience any of that.
No, but there'll be other things. It could be people's upbringing too, where their parents weren't the nicest in some things, or something that was as traumatic. You never know what it's going to be, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
And how it affects people differently.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's what, if I don't quote me, but I think it's 22 a day, that 22 veterans a day that commit suicide, which is not cool. I wish those people, vets, would get help. I'd be willing to even. I've been thinking about starting a new stream or a new channel based on my experiences in Iraq and post-traumatic stress disorder, how it affects me and my opinions about it. You know, about the VA and all that, or veterans.
Yeah, yeah. I think like a few of years ago or something, there was like a challenge, the push-up challenge, to acknowledge people like veterans that committed suicide.
Oh yeah, there is. It still goes on. You just got to get called out. I was called out by my buddies a long time ago, and I did do it. But I've put on a lot of weight since then. I'm not going to say I'm the most physically fit. I'd probably have to build up. That's sad to say, you know, build up my upper body again to be able to do it. At one point while I was in Iraq, I could do a deck of cards twice, face value. So, you know, an ace is worth 11. The Joker I would consider an ace, worth 11. And I believe there's 386 push-ups in a deck of cards. And I could do 2 of that straight.
Oh, wow.
Let's see. DPK Fish Aquarium says, "Yep, that's true. But having post-traumatic stress disorder and a TBI, it makes it hard." Yeah, I have a TBI from the getting almost blown up, which I'm still fighting with the VA for, which reminds me I had to call my VA rep and re-put the paperwork in because they denied my first claim, even though they think I do have some type of brain injury from that. I'm sorry, when you see stars for 3 weeks, even though you don't think you were knocked out, it could have been a split second for me. What's TBI? Traumatic brain injury.
Yeah, I can't do a push-up to save my life.
Been there many times. Candy Overhaul says sad face or kind of angry sad face. DPK Fish Aquarium says, I still relive my uncle's death and his best friend's death. Oh, I'm sorry. Fish Tropic says, hearts, thumbs up, fish, and palm trees. Okay. Island Queen says, oh, okay. Mr. B, Fish and Say, gotta go late here. Night, everyone. Like, sub, and share. Peace. Thanks for being in here, Mr. B's. I know we kind of got sidetracked with the military stuff. I try to stay on track as much as I can. Carlos DPK says, I've seen so much death when I was younger in Puerto Rico, if that's what PR means. Candy Overhaul says, good night, Brandon. Alan Queen says, bye, Mr. B's. Thanks again for your help. Aquascaping 101. I gave up on my stream, so I'm here now. How you doing, Aquascaping 101? Thanks for coming in. I appreciate the support.
What's up, Carson?
Fish Tropic says, laugh out loud. Alan Queen says, hi, Aquascaping. DPK Fish Aquarium says, two of my friends got shot in front of me. I'm sorry to hear that, Carlos.
Sorry, man.
That's truly tragic and truly sucks. Mr. B's Fishing Thing says, not at all. I'm proud to say all three of my kids have been in the military. Yeah. Mr. B's Fishing Thing says, hey, night.
Yeah, I haven't had anyone in my family join the military.
Yeah. Well, I was the first one in my immediate family to do it. Like my uncle, or two of my uncles were, and one was actually they were both in the Navy.
Yeah, so I moved to America like 9 years ago, so no one. It's not like we've been here for a long time.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's not a bad thing. I think, you know, if my son, because my son's asked about it, I wouldn't sway him either way, but I would tell him it's his choice what branch he would want to go into. I try and guide him to the Marines, but that's honestly his choice. I wouldn't force it upon him. So let's see. Island Queen says, oh, that's sad, Carlos. Fish Tropic says, Carlos, today when? DPK Fish Aquarium says, if I tell all my stories, trust me, you would rethink life. Yep. DPK says, many years ago. Joel DNZ says, fish tank therapy. That's the one thing I was going to tell you, BB, is I kept fish, which seemed to help me when I got out of the military, while I was going through college and living with my parents, and when me and my wife were still together, not separated, when things were going pretty good, and I was working all the time, landscaping and all that. But I kind of put myself into my work, and I was there, but when I got home, with the amount of hours I was doing, I went literally straight to bed because I was back up at 4:30 in the morning to rinse and repeat and be to work by 5:15, and then during the summer and the fall, wouldn't get home till almost 10 o'clock at night, 6 days a week, Monday through Saturday. Let's see. DPK says, 2 years and I saw a guy get shot and died at an event. Oh, I'm sorry, DPK. Holly Queen says, my great grandpa was in World War I and my grandpa was in World War II. Well, thanks for your grandfather's services, both of them. DPK Fish Aquarium says, that's why I avoid places. Same here. Large crowds and stuff I can't do. Like concerts, I did, but I did it reluctantly because, you know, peer pressure. And going out with the guys from work and stuff like that. My boss took me to like 4 or 5 Kiss concerts as a big thank you for all the stuff I did at that time.
So what do you do now for a living?
I am a direct support professional, or a DSP as they call it. I work with people that have disabilities that can't live on their own because they could have MS, they could be just mentally challenged, you know.
Man, you're doing a lot of good stuff.
Bipolar, could be have Asperger's, autism, could be a bunch of different things that they have. And there's people that can't stay on their own because they're not good with their money, can be easily taken advantage of and manipulated. So Carlos says the worst death I saw when younger is finding a person that went to my school in a ditch dead. Ooh, that's rough. Ouch. Alan Queen says, that's horrible. Carlos, I'm sorry, says Alan Queen. DPK says, that's why I became rebellious when younger and ended up in gangs and did a lot of crazy stuff. Aquascaping 101 says, my great-grandpa was part of the Japanese internment camp. Wow. That's tough. DPK Fish Aquarium says, just because I was fed up with bullies. Matsa Suritsu. I can't pronounce names, so sorry if I'm butchering your name. I'll just call you Mats. Matsura. Says, hello, Captain. Well, hello to you. Welcome to the stream. Aquascaping 101 says, I'm sorry, Carlos. Jamie McDonald says, I've seen way too much death. Yeah, I think different people in different lives see a lot of different things. It's Ike. Fish Tropic says, hey, Nick, you still there? Yeah, Ike said, or I don't know. Hey, Fish Tropic, Aquascaping 101. Well, he went to the Arizona or somewhere around there. What were you showing, VB? I didn't see it.
No, for school.
Nice.
Hate it. So boring.
Yeah. Books can be boring, though. From which country are you? You are. I'm from the U.S.
I'm from U.S.
Yeah.
Born in Vietnam.
Mm-hmm. I got a lot of good buddies that I served with from Vietnam that came over, and that's how they got their citizenship, was joining the military, which is a good way to get, become a citizen,
Yeah, it's only 3 years. Wait, no, you get citizenship as soon as you join the military.
What's that?
You get citizenship as soon as you join the military, right?
I believe so, or you've got to be in the military for at least a year or something like that.
Yeah, because you have to be a citizen.
If you're like working visa, technically, I think. I'm not sure of all that stuff, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I have to take my citizenship test soon if my parents don't take it.
Oh, okay. That stinks. New England Endler says, my family fought in every war way back to 1630 here. Wow, that's crazy, New England Endler. DPK Fish Aquarium says, it took me years to overcome my anger towards life and realize that's not the life my uncle wanted me to have. So I straightened up and started doing things right. That's great for you. That's great, Carlos. Congrats. Keep up the great work. Aquascaping, I miss your live stream. Sorry, next time. Nice one, DPK. USA says Aquascaping. I'm from India. Oh, okay. Aquascaping 101 says it's fine. It glitched and ended. DPK Fish Aquarium says, and I learned to forgive the person who took my uncle's life. Oh, that's good. A lot of people can't do that. Forgive people. But that's how you truly move on, I would think. You just forgive eventually.
Yeah, forgiveness. It hurts more just to hold on to the grudge.
Yeah. Great humanity, DPK. Humanity, maybe. I don't know.
What's your favorite fish in the fish room?
My favorite fish? I would say my biggest favorite fish that I currently have is my big female Oscar and the 125 behind me. Smaller stuff, I would say, I have to say super red plecos, just because they're really interactive, even though they tend to run when they see me coming. Hi, Molly. Or you got Molly the dogfish that likes to pound on my tanks that have plecos in it.
Yeah, my super reds are very, very like docile. They're not very scared. They don't run away.
Yeah, I think it's just because mine, the bulk of mine were in the 18-gallon tote that I have on the floor, a 16-gallon tote.
Yeah. Yeah, you like if you plan it up and like make it natural, they tend to do better.
Yeah, well, that's what I have. My 75-gallon has is the Malaysian driftwood in it. I'm gonna actually take some more of the Malaysian or Mopani driftwood.
Yeah, they love the chunkier wood that actually like thick wood like Malaysian Mopani.
Mm-hmm.
They prefer that over like branchy stuff like spider and like
Mm-hmm.
manzanita and stuff
Yeah.
like.
Well, honestly, in the 125, these are natural hardwoods that I found at where they built a flooded area, a dam area along the beach and stuff like that. Some of it I found out in like 6 feet of water just from fishing. I literally, or maybe not 6 feet of water because that'd be above my head, but maybe in 5 foot, 4 foot of water. Just
You
a
like
lot.
to fish?
Huh?
You
Oh,
like to
I
fish?
love to fish.
Oh, same here, man.
Mm-hmm. New England Endler says haddock deep fried. DPK Fish Aquarium says that's why I always say nothing in life is impossible, and am not ashamed anymore for the mistakes I made in life. That's awesome. Got a big heart from the person's name I can't pronounce. Thank you, M. DPK Fish Aquarium says that's why I always say nothing in life is impossible. Oh, he put the same thing twice. Okay. Or things I went through. M says, yes, you're a great person, DPK. Yes, he is. He's an awesome graphic artist, too. He made my logo. He's made a bunch of people's logos. Let's get to see if Carlos has some time soon or eventually to create a new logo for my actual YouTube page. Maybe clean up the one that's there that Jimmy made. That I changed it to a white kind of gradient. Eh? DPK Fish Aquarium says, thank you, Matsara. Trust me, I'm imperfect, but I always kept a good heart in life. I don't know what Fish Tropic was saying. Edge? I don't know. Whatever that's supposed to mean. All right, let me throw in the Google Hangout link in the stream again. Chat. I can't even talk. I think it's time for a beer, to be honest with you. For anyone that wants to join the stream, feel free. Or the Google Hangout, I mean. There's the link. Let me put this back to live. For some reason, it's shut off live. Geez, my mouse is being twitchy. Let's see. Put that back to live. There we go. Can't join from that link? All right, Fish. I'll throw it in the Google Hangouts. The actual chat. You know, the big box. There, let me put this. Paste. There's the link, Jason. Come on, mouse. I'm fed up with this mouse. I'm going to Best Buy tomorrow and returning this mouse and getting a different one. All right, that's enough. I've sent it all bunch. Can't join from that link. Send it to me in Hangouts. I just did Fish Tropic, so you should be good. Molly, yay. Yeah, Molly's sitting by the door. Surprised she's not scratching it to get in. See, the problem is I'd let Molly in and I'd shut the door, and then she would be nudging the door for the next well, however long till I opened it up to let her out.
Is this your bedroom or just your fish room?
Honestly, like my whole apartment's a big fish room. I got a tank out in my kitchen on the kitchen table. This is kind of like my living area. My apartment's only like 4 rooms. It's kind of small, hence why the rack. That HE Aqua joined.
Hello, Jesse.
How you doing, Jesse? How late you going? Says Fish Tropic.
Let us see your Hawaiian face.
Let's see. BPK says, hee, she's looking at the tanks. I'm gonna probably go. I don't even know what time it is, to be honest with you.
It's 1.
It's 1. I'll probably go to like 2:30, or to the point that I get really tired and I say I've had enough of another early this Sunday morning.
Yeah, I need to finish this.
I probably won't go after 2:30 though, because
that's so much.
What's up?
I have to write and finish a journal before I go to sleep.
Gotcha. So,
but hanging out is much more fun, so why would I do that?
Fish drop, Island Queen says, ha ha ha, fish house, yes, or fish apartment. Eventually I'll get my own place, my own house. Like I said many times before, once my wife and I are completely split and divorced, then I'll use my VA home loan and get some place with a decent amount of property, maybe 5 or 6 acres or something, maybe bigger, because land's really cheap up here. But there has to be a home that's in really good condition, because the VA won't approve the home loan if it's not in really good condition. And when that happens, then I'll pay movers, because I'll put all these fish, whatever fish, in a bunch of 5-gallon buckets, or if I have a 300-gallon stock tank, then maybe I'll put it in the moving truck, or if I move myself, I'll set the 300-gallon stock tank up and take a little bit of water from every tank, because they're roughly all the same, except for the African cichlid tank, where the pH is, a lot higher. And put the majority of my fish in the 300-gallon stock tank, and then drive it over, and then refill all the tanks with some of the water. And then I'll set up like a fish room in the basement, because I want to get a place. It doesn't have to be a finished basement, but in the basement, if there's enough room to set it up down there, and then maybe
basement is a good area. Like the underground basement, it's naturally insulated.
Yep, where the temperature stays at like 60 or 65 degrees all year round, type of a thing. Most basements are where it's cooler, because they're about 6 feet underground, most of them, at least 6 to 8 feet down.
Hi, Fish Tropic.
What's going on?
Not much. How you doing, Jason?
Just chilling out. How's everybody's night going?
It's going,
good. Writing meaningless journals for English.
Island Queen, that would be awesome, Captain.
I think Money Monster is gonna come over soon.
Yeah, he's done like 3 or 4 streams today.
Has he?
Yeah.
It's funny because I was looking in my subscription base and I don't even get notified.
Recheck everyone and make sure the
yeah, I've been unsubbing anybody and resubbing and checking the bell, and it's kind of funny because it's the people that I roll with, really, and it's like, okay, you're gonna not notify me for those streams that I'm pretty much a part of, and I'm getting all these recommendations for these other things that I don't even watch. It's kind of weird what YouTube's doing lately.
Yeah, I think they've been fiddling with the algorithm and not telling anyone. Kind of a thing. New England Endler says, check the town zoning laws before you buy. You don't want to move to Commeyville. Yeah, no, I'll check zoning laws, but it's not going to matter if I have fish tanks in my house.
Okay. See, that's my thing with like living in home association like places. Like, you're not paying my mortgage. I get to do what I want, man.
DPK says, "Hell yeah, you deserve it all, Cappy, for all the sacrifice you made for your brothers in arms and for us." Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I just want to, if I'm gonna get a house for myself, nothing against my wife. Currently, we're on really good terms. I just don't want to have a backdoor thing where I get a house now, bought, and then she says, "Oh, I want half of it." You know what I mean? And then, or says, petitions the court and says, "Hey, I need a place to stay," even though she's living with her mother and my son, you know, are living there primarily. I don't want her to take the house right out from under me and live in it, and then I'm paying rent at a place and the mortgage. Not going to happen. Not to be vindictive, but I don't want to do that.
Small man.
New England Landlord, more zoning laws equals less liberty to do as you wish on your own land. Up here in the state, as long as I'm in the park, the Adirondack Park, as long as the building's not over 5 stories tall, you're good. That's about the only thing is the height requirements. Because they don't want anything over 5 stories because that can block a lot of people's view. But I'd never build something that big. If anything, I'd try and find a place with like a 2-car garage, whether it's detached or attached, and I'd probably close off one of the bays and build a fish room out in the garage in the second bay. You know?
Yeah.
Insulate it. You know?
Yeah, well, I could tell anyone that's out there watching, it's probably a good idea if you're dating someone or you know you don't have your own spot to put your fish tanks in. Don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you may think you're in a good spot, but what about a month from now? 6 months from now? You know, it's one of those things where your fish tank will actually outgrow your relationship. I'm telling you, I've seen it happen over and over and over again. Hell, it's happened to me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like shit. That's why I say to a lot of people, man, try to keep it out of the relationship. And, you know, if you're going to do it, make sure you're both enjoying it.
Right. I would rather find a
because
girl.
if it's one-sided, you know, then it's just your hobby. You know, it's then you might have to spend a bit of time out of your fish room and go do something with whoever you're living with, you know, and, you know, show love. You know, it's
Or you can stay
you
single.
know, I was just thinking about it the other day too, and it's like, you know, I've talked to a lot of people in the last couple of years where this has happened to, and it's kind of sad because, you know, I guess it could work both ways. The man or the woman will take your stuff, sell your fish, sell your tanks, sell all that stuff without even giving a shit about it.
Yeah, that's not happening.
You know? So that's why I say to everyone, you know, get your own place if you're going to do something like that so then no one can take it from you.
Yeah, I agree with that one.
Well, also you could have someone move in, right? Like, you know, to your significant other, and then they still could do it to you while you're at work. So, but at least if it's your place, then you can call the cops if you want to be really vindictive and have her charged with theft. You know, or him with theft.
Yeah, I find it funny though because it's life.
Yep.
You shouldn't be trying to sell life off like holding it over your head and being vindictive about it, and you know, it's kind of sad. It's like if you had a dog and you know you raised a dog and it was you who raised and put all the time into the dog, and then the other person wants to take that from you. You know, it's not cool.
No, exactly.
You know, it's your dog. You raised it, you fed it, you walked it, and then in the end of it all, that person's gonna take it? Hell no. And you know, a lot of people do that with kids too.
Right.
And it's like, yo, just because you don't like each other doesn't mean the kid has to take punishment for it. Damn.
That's why I'm glad me and my wife just broke it off, because it was a mutual thing. We were going in 2 different directions and it just wasn't working. We tried for 10 or 11 years and, you know, to make it work, and then enough was enough. I'm just reading the chat. DPK Fish Aquarium says, just avoid homeowners associations. Cappy, they don't like you too much. Well, they can't tell you what you can and can't do in your own house.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah, I tried
sorry.
to build my family. We built a pond in front of the house, and then this ratchet neighbor tried to come over and tell us we can't do it because it's dangerous, even though it was on our property.
Well, the problem is if you're in a homeowners association, you got to get approval for stuff like that, or it has to be gated because a kid could fall in it if it's a big enough pond and drown. So in some ways, you might have to fence it off in order for it to be legal.
Yeah, we did it in the back of the yard now.
Yeah. Dance Lee says, hey, Cappy, hey, y'all. Island Queen says, I still can't believe I spent my Saturday night with a bunch of fish nerds 10 years ago. This would have never happened. Ha ha ha. True. Island Queen says, YouTube has not been notifying me about streams for a few days now. Yeah, I get notified, or honestly, I have to go check, the home tab because I got the YouTube app on my phone. And then I'll go to my subscriber list, you know what I mean, who I'm subscribed to. In between the home and the subscribe thing, it'll tell me who's streaming or who's live or bringing up with new content or whatever like that. But I might have to scroll for days till I find stuff, though, because I'm stuck to so many people. Let's see. New England Endler says, I'm in an HOA, and all we care about is the road. They are all different, true. DPK O'Crawler says, I wonder if it's a YouTube bug, Island Queen. It just started on mine after the last update. Yep, probably.
Did you shout out Island Queen for starting up FishTubers notification squad?
No.
So that's a new thing on Facebook where, fishfam, OG fishfam, anybody that wants to post their content without taking flack for it or writing something, or I don't know what it is, man. Like, if you got something good and you want to post it, you come over to that Facebook page and you post it. Just make sure you're showing love. Don't spread no hate there. That page was meant for the original fish fan, and new rookie fish fan people like 101 Aquascaping, Michigan Aquatics, JC Aquatics. There's a lot of kids out there that, they're 13, 14 years old, 15 years old. This is keeping them out of trouble where they live,
Mm-hmm.
You got to support the youth because, like I keep saying, man, 10 years from now, if they're still in the YouTube, they're going to be bigger than any of you guys, bigger than me, bigger than, kids like kids. That's all I can say. Kids are going to sub to kids. That's all I'm going to say. It's one of those things. Yeah, you might have a couple kids show up to your stream if you're older. It's because, you're showing love. You're not just, they pop up, they say something, and you ignore it. And then you ignore the next message. And then you ignore the next message. And then that's how you lose a viewer, a friend, someone that has similar things in common with you. Yeah, he's 14, 15, but, he keeps fish too.
I honestly don't think age, I understand for the younger YouTubers, it's awesome. Let's bring them up. Let's get them really familiar with fish keeping. In some ways, the younger kids could have more experience than some of the older guys. You know what I mean? Already.
Well, it's just who you're around, really.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's not hard to see that these YouTubers, they want to be around people that support them. They want to be around people that don't talk down to them. They want to be just a person, and I know a lot of people come from houses where they get screamed at all day, whatever it may be. They go to school, they get picked on. They come to this stream to hang out, to relax, to let loose, to, speak their opinions where they're not going to be like, oh, you're bad, and then we're going to scream at you, kick you out, and ignore you. And that's not how it's going down no more. The fish fam is a real thing. You know, it's not just something you fly a flag and say, hey, I'm a fish fam. I'm going to make an image, put it on my profile and say I'm part of you. No, you have to participate or you're just hating. You know, it's one of those things like E-Money keeps saying, you got to show love where love is shown. And if you don't, people going to notice and I'm going to call you out. And I don't care. I'll call you out. Right? You think I'm losing anything from YouTube? No, I'm not losing anything. I got all my friends, all my people that I talk to, you know, I can message them. You know, like you, Captain, you know, if you see something going down, you're going to say something. You're not going to sit down, lay down with the wolves and let them eat you, are you? No.
Hell no.
No, hell no. Man, you from the army and stuff. Like, trust.
I'm sorry, the Army ain't ready to be a Marine yet, so now I'm part of the Marine Corps, but
Marine Corps, there you go.
I knew what you were talking about, though.
Yeah, like,
you
know how it is, though, because, like, damn. There's so much talent out there. There's so many different types of artists. It's not just the fish fam. There's so many communities. Like even right now as we're speaking, I think their Great Legend show is putting on a comic auction.
Right.
You can head over there if you like comic books, you know, even if you don't want to buy them, you can still look at them. They're talking about them. You know, you're going to meet good people in these streams because it's the same thing as the fish fam. It's just comic fam, you know? And, you know, you look around YouTube, and if you're going to be inside such a box where you're going to play favoritisms with people that you see on a day-to-day basis, and now you're buddy and you see other people show up to the stream and you ain't gonna say nothing to them, that's not showing love. Nope. You know, I don't know what that is. Like I said, I think it's just a hater. You're a hater. Someone's doing something, you don't like it, you don't say nothing, you avoid it until something is said to you, and then you're gonna say something, and then all this other stuff is gonna happen to make that person feel like they're unwanted. That's what I'm standing for. That's what E-Money stand for. That's what half the fish fam stand for. And, you know, it's time that we all rally behind each other and really support each other out because, like, yeah, I may not be here tomorrow to support someone's stream, but there always will be a fish fam member there to say hello, to spread the love. You know, you know, I don't know. I'm just getting a little tired of it because I know even people are using the hashtag fish fam to merchandise. It was never meant for people to merchandise and, you know, make money off of, unless that money is going towards something just, not just in your pocket. And that's what pisses me off. It's like you have no right to be using that hashtag. That hashtag was originated in a fish fam live night stream, maybe over at Dave's, maybe over at Cappy's. I don't remember, but I know it came from us.
Yep.
And like I said, it was made for everyone. So you shouldn't be sitting there making money off of it unless you're kicking it back to the fish fam, period. Right? Yep. So I don't know. That's just my whole thought on it all. It's like, yo, we need to really change and look at things and stop being selfish with shit.
Right.
Because like I said, Cappy, I'm going to call it out.
That's fine.
You know?
I understand. Let's see. I'm not blowing you off, Jason. I completely understand where you get from. Joe G. NZ says, I got my own fish palace, but my landlords could throw me out. They would, though. I'm the block captain. That's cool. PPK Fish Aquarium says, I've been lucky. Wife is the one that tells me to add more tanks. That's awesome. Talk about support. HE Aqua says, same DPK. My wife is shopping for tanks right now. Laugh out loud. Nice. HE Aqua says she's trying to pick up a hex tank. We already have a stand. That's cool. That's awesome. I hope one of my next significant other will be into fish or appreciate that I'm into fish and they have a hobby that kind of keeps me busy. You know what I mean?
Keeps you sane.
Yeah, well, that's what this fish fam does for me.
What a hobby
keeps me sane. Because not to be sad and, you know, make people think, you know what I mean, feel sad for me or anything like that. I started live streaming fish stuff what, 3 or 4 years ago at this point. I can't remember when I started actually becoming really active on YouTube again. And since then, my outlook on life is a lot better. I'll put it that way. Just with all the people I meet socially, because up here, I'm not originally from upstate New York. I'm from Massachusetts. The bulk of my best friends live in Massachusetts still. And then I got my friends from the military that live all over the country. So it is really, besides my wife, which will help me out if I'm really struggling with something, you know, we still kind of support each other that way a little bit. You know, I don't really have friends up this way besides the fish fam. And even some of those are 5 or 6 hours away. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I have no family that's close to me. That's not at least 8 hours away. Actual fam, besides my son. You know. And if you want to call my wife and my mother-in-law type of a thing. Besides that, the only friends I have up here are the people I work with. And it's not like I'm going out to the bar to hang out with them after work. You know what I mean? So. But let's see. New England English sounds Endless says, sounds like we have cool lives. Mine tells me to buy new tools. Nice. DPK says, sweet. Island Queen says, true story. Laugh out loud. Carlos says, here you need a permit to dig past 2 feet deep. It sucks. Well, here where I live, or most of the U.S., they want you to use DigSafe, which is a free service, to come out if you're going to dig a pond or something, especially if it's going to be a pond to keep koi or overwinter fish. Because anything, like you said, anything, I would say 16 inches and down here, you don't necessarily need a permit for, but I highly recommend DigSafe, because when I landscape, we always use that if we were digging more than 6 inches to a foot down, because you never know back in the day when old pipes were laid barely below the surface, you know, that are still in use. Let's see. Island Queen says, thanks, Jason. I think she was thanking you a while ago for shouting out the new Facebook channel. Let's see. I got to scroll down because I'm probably really far behind. HE Aqua said, what's the group called? Let's see. Okay, that's scrolled too far. Sweet, sorry. I lost my place. Island Queen says the group is for anyone in the fish community and fish fam. Joe GNZ says bigger than Flynn with the kids. The whole thing you were saying, Jason. Island Queen says Fish Tubers Notification Squad. That's the name of the group on Facebook. HC Aqua says cool. Just want to make sure I'm in it. I know I'm in it because I got the invite, or I just looked it up when Island Queen or Darcy got in touch with me earlier today. DPK Fish Aquarium says that would be an awesome to see the kids surpass me. It would be a honor. Joel GNZ says you have the logo though, the paddling ceremony. I don't know what that means. HC Aqua says, does anyone know if there's more than one hex tank size? Yeah, it all depends. A hex tank could be, you know, 50, 90 gallon. I've seen them in all different sizes. I've seen a hex tank that was a 100-gallon tank. And I swear it was homemade, you know. Me personally, I got nothing against hex. You gotta have things that that's like that swimming straight up and down and not having a big base. You know what I mean? I can't remember what you call it. Enough of a tank to really swim around, like a big enough footprint. Island Queen says, that's true. The Fish Fam is about helping your friends and channels grow. DPK Fish Aquarium says, let me check HC. Here, HC. Oh, he just put a link. Island Queen says, I treat everyone equally in the Fish Fam. So do I. Until they prove me wrong. Joel GNZ says, who merchandised it? I think we should keep names out of this unless Jason wants to speak up. I'm not going to be name dropping for the different people that have monetized it. You know, I'd say let things lie, but I don't know. I guess both people dropped out. Both Jason and VD. Select Pet says, sup all? Not much. Just doing a late night live stream. I've been away where I didn't have any content come out for a week, so trying to catch up. I had a video that I was editing on my Google Pixel with the Filmora Wondershare mobile app, and it kept crashing out every time I would try to save it and export it to YouTube. So after about the 10th try, I gave up on it. I'm just going to pull the stuff down, edit it with Filmora Wondershare on my desktop, and then upload it that way. Or compile it that way. Island Queen says, especially the mods, we don't mod to make money. It's to help the fish fam grow. Yeah, I mean, I got a kick out of it when I had the mod wall and someone came in and trolled and the person got like banned right out of here. I'm like, let them troll. I don't care about trolls. Trolls give me extra stimulation. Keep me laughing. Joel GNZ says there's another fish fam full of people I never heard of. Groups. I'll click that link to see what it is. Steve Ford says, hi, I set up a new tank, used aquarium water and cycled filter media. The next day I had a hell of a nitrate spike. Then it went the next day and the fish survived. I've done this many times, no problems. Sometimes it happens. Did you bring out the sponge or whatever media you put in there first to kind of clean it in other fish tank water or old water you were draining from a tank first? Because it could have just been what was ever built up in the sponge released into that fresh water. Joel GNZ says like 4K people. Nice. JC Aquatics says, what's up, everyone? Welcome to the stream, JC Aquatics. Sorry, I'm kind of far behind. My mouse, I gotta bring this back to Best Buy. Use the square trade, turn it in, get a new mouse. Because this thing's been acting weird. I'll try unplugging it first from the current USB port it's in and plugging it into the new one. 54 Punchy says, I am single. Works for me. That's good for you, 54 Punchy. Good for you. I'm going to stay single myself for a little while, even when me and my wife get divorced. 54 Punchy or Aquarium Cop says, peace and love. 54 Punchy says, hi, JC and Cop. Jose V says, hola. Hola to you. I'm just loading up the other channels just in case I'm not subbed to you guys. JC Aquatics says, how's it going, guys? It's going great. I did an update earlier in the stream if you want to look back in it of what was going on this week. This is my first content for this week coming out. I do have a video that I did on a sponge filter that came in from I got off of Amazon for like 3 of them for $15 or whatever. That came in the mail just recently or last week on like Friday or something like that. So I set one up in one of my tanks and stuff like that. So I'm going to run the one and add the second one to my other guppy tank here in a bit or tomorrow. This fish topic, sweet. Would your phone die? Joji,
well, I don't like to run it past 5%, right?
Yeah, I got you. So what are you on your laptop?
No, I'm on my iPhone.
Oh, okay. Would you just plug it in?
Yeah, I just plug it in, charge it up past 30.
Nice. Well, you sound a lot better now. Joel GNZ, same at 54 Punchy. I'm a cat lady fishman. Joel GNZ says hello. Aquarium Cop says Pam.
Okay, wait. I want to do a little shout out here, Cappy.
What's that?
We want to shout out Phoenix Aquatics, Mr. Melvin. You guys head over to his damn channel. I think he went live. So, if he gets a little bored over there, he's always welcome to come over to the hangouts and hang out with the fams. I want to shout out 808 Tank because he's been showing up and showing love and we got to show love where love is shown. People, go head over to his channel and hit that thumbs up button. Hit and smash that subscribe button, because, you know, you got to support everybody. Let me give a shout out to my main man here, Captain Savage. You know, he's been doing his damn thing for longer than I have, and believe me, guys, he's a good dude. You guys need to sub up. You guys looking for advice, looking for a little bit of something, believe me, the Fish Fam knows a little bit of everybody. So, you know, link up, have a chat. You know, I want to give a big shout out to Pet Tech. You know, he's been doing his damn thing, and he's been doing his damn thing for a while now. His videos are great. You know, his split personality videos really trip me out sometimes, and I'm just like, how the hell is he doing that? I know a lot of you guys in there are like, yeah, those videos are pretty cool. But shout out to Pet Tech. He's doing his damn thing. Maybe he'll stop in one day, just like Joey DIY stops into the smaller channels. You know, shout out to Joey DIY up here in Canada, Halifax. You know, that's my hometown, but born and raised Toronto. So shout out to the East Coast. Shout out to the West Coast. That Friday Fish Facts. He's doing his damn thing, his damn interviews. You know, everybody's tuning in, showing love. So if you a hater, you're a hater. You better believe your boy Tropic is headhunting for haters. And you know, stay away from the boy. I'm telling you right now. But yo, back to regular broadcast. Captain, please take over.
I'm just getting back to the chat. Thank you, Jason, for doing all those shout-outs. That was awesome. Aquarium Monster says squat up.
Oh,
Hashtag
yeah.
squat up. What's up, brother? How you doing?
Every stream, I like to take small channels, big channels, smash them together. That's the way it needs to be.
Here's the link to the Google Hangouts if anyone wants to join. I think E-Money just finished up his stream. Really funny. Everyone's saying hi to E-Money.
Heather's in the house. Shout out to Heather. Scarlet Aquatics just came through.
Nice.
Steve Foy just came through. Select Peck. Yo, you guys go head over to Select Pet. You know, he was having a rough week last week. You guys got to go over and show some love. I'm telling you guys right now, don't piss me off. Go show some love. Thank you.
Jason, I can't wait till your little ditties come out with the Cappy. Keeps you happy late at night and stuff in the chat. I like those. They make me laugh. Let's see. Island Queen says there's there's a group has something different going on and we're not competing with them. Okay. All right. Aquarium Monster says, hello, everyone. Thanks for showing the love and thanks for you jumping on Cappy for my stream. Love is love, always. Shades. Uh-oh, E-Money is in here. What's up, brother?
Aquarium Cop's up in here.
Aquarium Cop, sorry.
Aquarium Cop's geared up, you know. He's got the baton raised.
Well, it says Aquarium Monster.
Ready. He's got the handcuffs folding. You know, he's ready. He's ready to put those haters into a rest state. Like, damn, spread that.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I can't really hear you guys. I don't know if you got me low or not. I can't hear you guys.
I can hear you.
I can hear you. He can't hear us. Turn up your speakers a little bit.
Yeah, maybe that's it.
Turn up your headset a little bit. So what's up, E-Money? How you been? It's E-Money, right?
Yes, sir. What's up, y'all? I can hear y'all now.
That's what I thought, because I saw Aquarium Monsters. I'm like, that's not Aquarium Cop. 808 Tank with the squad up.
Yeah, E-Money is Aquarium Monster. Don't mind me. I call him Money Monster. So, you know, it's... You know, I got my thing, you know.
Yo, Cap, one love, my brother. I'm sorry for stepping on your toes a little bit there. My schedule was a little retarded today.
Oh, you're all good, man. Jason actually told me you were started streaming, and it's like, it's all okay. It's no big deal. It's fish. There's enough Fish Fam love to go around, you know.
Yeah, brother.
That's just it. Cichlid OG just showed up. What up, Cichlid OG? I hope you're having a great weekend. You know, shout out to your fam. Shout out to everyone around. You know, so, you know, put a special prayer out there for Mr. Phoenix, Mr. Mel. You know, if anybody out there, you know, you need to chat someone. You know, you could hit any one of these Fish Fam family people up, and you know, we got you. Don't forget that. You know, just open your mouth, say something.
Right. DPK Fish Aquarium says, all I beg and ask is for everyone who has groups, don't push away people because of the language barriers. Always have someone that can speak their language. Most groups do get them where they speak English pretty well and can write it pretty well too. So a lot of people saying definitely agree. True, so true, Carlos. Carlos says some people don't have the chance to have or are able to get educated speaking English, or it's really hard for them. Yeah, that's understandable. That's why in every group there eventually becomes a translator that's in there that can help them out and pass on the word. Otherwise, if someone's talking in another language, I'll use Google Translate on the comment, get the best I can, and then type what I have and translate it back into their language, even though there might be some words that are messed up. You still can pass information, even if you guys can't really speak to each other, you know, due to the language barrier. I never turn anyone away.
Yeah. Well, you really shouldn't, though. Like, you know, money, you know, all of us have had a conversation about this. You know, just because you don't agree with their methods doesn't mean you should be turning someone away because you don't like it. You know, that doesn't make no damn sense to me. You know, that's kind of what school does. You know, they bring you in as a kid and they try to tell you that you need 100% to get an A+. Meanwhile, you know, you got people that are getting D's and F's later on in life. They're the ones owning the businesses. You know, these are the people becoming actors, making more money than you could ever dream of. But their whole life, they were always the last person. You know, go on YouTube, look up Eddie Murphy.
Right.
You know, there's a lot of people out there that were always last place, but look where they are because they kept pushing. They had passion. They knew what they wanted to do. They didn't let anybody stand in their way, no hater, no nothing. So, you know, you guys got to give me a minute. I'm letting the phone charge. I'll be back in like 5 minutes.
All right, man.
Cool.
Oh, E-Money, what you streamed 3 or 4 times today? I don't know. I kept getting the notifications.
Nah, the notifications was my brother. Like that's why I said my schedule was all messed up. Because when I got here, I was originally trying to give everyone a schedule for like 10, and then my wifey, she gave me the little guilt trip because I was out earlier for a few, with my boys. I went on a little ride to Jersey with him, so I was missing for the house a little bit, so she wanted to watch some shows and stuff like that. So I watched some shows, caught up with her, ate dinner, took a shower. So I had to keep changing the schedule, bro.
Yeah, it happens. Sometimes you just got to say, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to stream tonight. I'll try and catch up when I'm done with the real film, I've had to do that in the past, My son last minute has something to do where he's really sick or something comes up and I'm supposed to do a live stream that I actually pre-scheduled. That's why I don't schedule my live streams anymore. I just give a rough time for people and say, hey, be there if you can. I understand if you can't. No big deal.
Yep.
Now, I'm just trying to figure out my password for something.
Babe, let me say a little way about it.
Yeah, when I get a chance. So how's everything, brother? How's the fish?
They're good, considering that I was away pretty much this whole week. You
was running around?
Well, no. With my on Monday, my wife met me in Saranac Lake, which is where I live, at the urgent care because my son was sick.
Okay. I hope he's
so. The first time the PA or physician assistant came in, we swear that not knocking him. Me and my wife swear to each other that he didn't listen to my son's lungs because my son was complaining about his air ringing. He's like, oh, that's probably just from a little head cold that you got, this fluid on the inner ear. Let me prescribe you some like over-the-counter kind of like Sudafed or something like that should help with drainage and stuff like that. And we took him back the next day because it wasn't really helping his cough, which was the big issue. And my wife took him back Tuesday afternoon. Same PA was there, and she's like, she brought it up to him. She's like, my husband and I don't really think, or if you did it and we weren't paying attention, not accusing you of missing it, but we don't remember seeing you check his lungs, like listening to see if there was anything. And he made sure he listened to it. He's like, yeah, based on how it sounds like your son has acute bronchitis.
Wow.
So he's literally missed since not this past Friday, but the Friday before, because he had to have his teeth worked on, or that Thursday before, not this week, but the previous Thursday, he's been out because he's been sick. Because he had like 8 teeth pulled, baby teeth pulled, because they were so rooted in. It was impacting his adult teeth coming in. The adult teeth couldn't push down.
Yeah.
So we think that weakened his immune system, and this allowed whatever the cold was to wreak havoc on his system. I mean, he's still coughing pretty bad, but he azithromycin or something like that, a really high potent penicillin or whatever it is for the cough. He did the 6-day thing where he only takes it once a day. That's how strong it is. So he still's got the cough. He did say he is slightly feeling better, but each day it goes on. But if he's still got the bad cough, I'm going to bring him back to urgent care on Monday and be like, what the heck's going on? Or I'm going to bring him right to the Saranac Lake Hospital, which is like 2 blocks up further, you know?
Wow. God bless him. I hope he does good quick.
I mean, if he's not feeling good, I don't want to force him to go to school, but he's missed, since Christmas break. They had 2 weeks off just about for Christmas break, and he hasn't been back since.
Wow.
You know what I mean? I think New Year's was on a Tuesday, and I think they were supposed to return on Thursday of that week, and he hasn't been there since Thursday of that week.
Wow.
He didn't even go to school, so it's crazy.
They missing them over there.
Well, the main thing is we've had doctor's notes, and when we don't have doctor's notes, we've called in to make sure to do the proper protocol that the school wants. But
yeah, so they won't be thinking crazy.
Yeah, well, but still, there's always a chance if he misses enough school, the school will request that he stays back, and he's already stayed back once because we didn't think he was mature enough and wasn't completely, with it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, he's got his own learning disabilities, like myself and his mother. So, yeah, crazy times, man.
Yeah, man.
So,
just
long
stay
story
strong,
short,
brother.
I picked him up tonight on the way home. So I picked him up at 11:05 p.m. East Coast time, and then got him back here, and probably by 11:30 he was in bed. Passed out. He literally went out once his head hit the pillow within a matter of a couple minutes.
Wow. Probably, hopefully, with a couple of good days now, since you guys gave him something else, with a couple of good days of that and some rest, hopefully he'll snap out of it.
Well, they gave him enough azithromycin. I don't know if I'm probably butchering it, but the name, but it was only for 6 days. He's like, this thing's so strong, you should see somewhat of a turnaround or him to start feeling better by the time he's done with it. So he's been off of it. I think this is the 2nd day.
Yeah.
So, or whatever.
Yeah, but you definitely want to make sure you just give him a couple of doses, meaning like, a couple of days that that you put in the dosage in his body so it could definitely go through his system and flush out whatever's the issue,
Need that chicken noodle soup.
Well, he likes chicken noodle soup, but his throat's been so sore from all the coughing, because when he coughs, he'll cough like 3 to 6 times back to back. You know what I mean? And then they're bad coughs.
Listen, I hate that when my kids are sick, coughing or anything. That shit gets me pissed. I hate it. I can't see my kids sick.
And I've been neglecting the chat while I talk about my son, but I'm more concerned about his health than. Sorry, I know we're all the fish here, but real life stuff comes first.
Nah. Everybody understands, and they're all entertaining themselves in the chat anyway. They all know what it is. The chat is busy. There's a lot of people in here. Shout out to everybody showing love to the brother. Captain Savage Aquatics. You already know. Smash that like button, jump off the top rope, and you already know. Hulk Hogan leg drop that joint, y'all.
Yep. I heard a funny story, or in the news, maybe one of the guys I support, because he's big into the WWE, saying Hulk Hogan wants to come out of retirement and do like a comeback match.
Yeah, I heard that too.
That's crazy. I remember watching Hulk when TVs really sucked when I was a kid.
His wife took all that money, bro. He know he got to come back and smack up a few guys again.
Yeah. Well, even if he just comes back into, what is it, the WWE now, you know?
It's that Hulk Hogan's the man, bro. Like Hulk Hogan, like he could come anytime and he still be Hulk Hogan to people. You know what I'm saying? That's the great thing about.
Well, he's a Hall of Famer. You know, like one of the. I think honestly, out of all those guys that are still around that are his age, there's not many of them left due to like drug overdoses or with all the roids they were pushing when they were trying to, you know what I mean? Be whatever. Saying that they weren't, you know they were. There's no way you get that big and stay that big for that long. Sorry.
Yeah, Fish Tropic, definitely. I used to like Razor Ramon too.
Mm-hmm. I liked Hulk Hogan and the Macho Man Randy Savage.
Yeah.
You know,
the good old wrestling days when it was.
Not this. I'm sorry. I have nothing against the WWE, but I swear if Hulk was in his prime, like John Cena and all those guys would get thrashed. But
so you know that Hulk Hogan had his nice run too, and they had that NWO thing popping. He always had a run.
Oh yeah. 808 Tank says groovy. Yep. DPK says my son for a long time couldn't do sports or heavy lifting. Now he is young but old. Injuries come back if not taught how to prevent it from getting worse. Yeah, I hear that. I missed probably half the other stuff Carlos said because I haven't been paying attention to the chat. Sorry about that. So anyone that recently joined, giving you a big shout out. Thank you for supporting the stream and the Fish Fam. It's greatly appreciated.
Yes, y'all. It's almost 2. I'm in New York City. It's almost 2 in the morning. So we definitely appreciate y'all hanging out with us.
Oh yeah. At one point we had 22 or 23 in here with 18 strong for this time of morning. Yeah, I'm in upstate New York, about 5 or 6 hours from you.
Oh, you from me?
Yeah. From New York City, I'm probably 5 or 6 hour drive, or depending on the traffic up to 8.
Cappy, you're only 6 hours from me.
I know. It all depends on what time of day you leave up here when you get around New York City, how much traffic you hit. But New York City, you hit traffic all the hours of the day. So.
Yeah, I was laughing. Me and my friend was laughing because we shot out from New York to Marlboro, New Jersey, and that's like like a good like an hour 45 or something. An hour and a half, but we make it like in like an hour. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah.
We be talking about, it's crazy how when you drive in New Jersey and all these places, you have just open like highway, just no traffic at all, really. And
it all depends on what section in Jersey you go to.
But in general, like when you cruising and you in the highway driving, and once you cross over that bridge to the Bronx, to New York City, that's it, bumper to bumper, man.
Oh yeah, I hear that. I used to have to go on the outskirts of New York and New Jersey all the time. Coming up from North Carolina, going home on, 72-hour vacation or 96 hours, which is like 5 days, off for the different holidays. Because pretty much in the military, you pretty much almost get every holiday that's nationally recognized off. A 72, which is 3 days or whatever. So it's pretty sweet. So, and it didn't go or catch your time. So, while I was in the military, you get 30 days you can accrue a year of vacation time. And then with all the other holidays that you get off, as long as you're stateside, you can literally go, I think, 600 miles. I know for the Marine Corps, it's 600 miles as the crow flies. So for me to North Carolina was like, as the crow flies, like 550 miles, but it was 987 miles to my parents' house.
Wow.
Roadways, because you know how you have to go around and then cut back and all that happy horse shit.
That's what it is. There'd be some ways where you could just cut through traffic, and there's other places where you just got to go literally around the world.
Well, honestly, I would purposely wait in North Carolina till when I was coming up. I would wait till like 6 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the afternoon when it's like rush hour there, and start driving, because then I would hit New York City around 1 or 2 in the morning. Depending on the day of the week, it was like, seemed like to be the perfect time. Because just to get through North Carolina, driving north was like an 8 or 10 hour drive. Just to get over the border of North Carolina into, I want to say Maryland.
Wow.
Wow, I was almost at the midpoint of the state along the coast. That's where Camp Lejeune is, or Jacksonville, North Carolina. So to hit the main routes and get on, like, I think 95 or whatever the main big route is, I think it's 95 going north. And I would purposely, I think I would cut through New Jersey. You know how you can hop on the Jersey Turnpike?
Yeah.
To avoid as much New York as I could.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
The outside, like skirt the far outside of the roads. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Over here, anything close to any like time as far as like rush hour time, forget about it.
Right. I just noticed, as long as, honestly, even when I skirt New York City, and sometimes the skirting pushed me towards like almost downtown, you know what I mean, to the other major roadways, because I think there's a 95 alternative route, you know what I mean, alternate route that you can take. Normally I would take that would skirt me on the outside, but sometimes those roads would be heavily constructed, or be a major accident, and I get bumped towards the city just due to the roads. And I figured as long as I hit there by 3 o'clock, because most of the time I'd be headed home on a Friday, right?
Yeah.
You know? So as long as I got there before 3 p.m. on a Friday, like around noontime, 1 o'clock, I could skirt that. Even if I had to go by the city, close proximity, I could get through that traffic within about an hour and a half tops, you know?
Yeah.
And then sometimes I hit it where it was like 3 a.m. or midnight, and there was like no traffic.
Yeah, and that's when you beat the GPS.
Yeah, right. Believe me, one holiday where I think it was a major holiday, the first Christmas I went home, no joke, what you used on my average was about 16 to 18 hours. I got home in like 12, and that was 900 and something miles. Obviously, you could tell I was moving, but holy crap, it was.
That was one of those days where you'd be like, you know what? I don't give a hell. If I catch a ticket, I'll catch it. Let's go. Let's see if they're gonna stop me.
Right. I knew, honestly, with driving the road, because I probably drove home 50 or 100 times from North Carolina, because I was there for 3 years. You know, first 3 years, besides when I was serving over in Iraq, it was crazy. I know we're totally off subject, guys. I'm sorry. I know this is supposed to be a fishy live stream, but
Curry, this is they already know, man. When you want E-Money, Captain Savage, Fish Tribe, Big, all these other guys like us, man, it's about fish and life in general, y'all. Yep. Love always. We appreciate all y'all fish fans out here showing love with us. If y'all got guys any questions pertaining to fish hobbies, please write it down in the questions, and we'll catch up to you guys. And
yeah, make sure you use the @ and select Captain Savage or Fish Tropic or E-Money or Aquarium Monsters in the chat. Put it and put their name. If you're doing it from a desktop, if you hit the @ and start typing the first couple letters of the person's name, it'll give you a drop-down list where you can select the person you want to send it to. Especially if it's me, I think I'm the only C in the chat besides Curly Bunny. You know, you put CA. Not many people have CA for the first couple initials of their name or their YouTube tag.
But everybody's enjoying themselves. Everybody's doing good talking, and everybody's All we doing is adding more fish family here. We got 21 in the building right now, I see.
And there's 20 likes, which is awesome. And
Yes.
realistically, it's probably more than that we've had come through the chat, because at one time there was 23, people in the chat.
Squad, Priscilla's in the house. How you doing, sis?
What's up, Priscilla? Long time no see.
What's
Been
up,
a week.
Priscilla?
I've been missing the fish fam, believe me.
Hey, and if you're new in the chat, you gotta go add yourself up to the Fish Fam Notification Squad up on Facebook. It's a new channel to spread your opinion.
Yes, and everyone, shout out to my brother Angelo, BX Aquatics. Show love. He's over here from the boogie down, one of my OGs over here that seen me grow up. He's into fishes. He finally posted his first video recently. Please sub up to him, show him love, y'all. Let's get him in this fish family.
I think I subbed him earlier in the day, when either yesterday or the couple, like a week ago, before I went down to my wife's place.
I appreciate that, brother.
Yeah. Well, I always, it's a name that I don't recognize or even a chance. I always open up their channel, click on the 3 dots by their name and, open up the channel in the background. Believe it or not, with my internet, I have 20 megs up and like 100 or 400 down with the residential. They offered that this recently for Spectrum.
He says, love is love. All convo is good convo. Yes, sir, my brother. You're ready. He finally got a cool video up. He got a beautiful butter co-fry up there. Y'all got to check it out. Beast mode.
Yeah, I'll check that out, because that's how I knew. I'm like, cool, he's got his first video up. Check it out, Brian, and let me know how you like the layout. All right. Let me see. Priscilla NKR. Don't mind me, guys. I'm going to be kind of cheesy. I like to share the screen, so let me put it up. Share. This. Yeah, Priscilla, I like to give people shout outs and stuff like that, but showing off their stuff. This website, I know it says under development. It looks really good. I like all the pics. That guppy is off the hook with the city coming out the tail. I assume that was for Twin City Guppies that you were doing that after. Just to guess. Then you got the calendar with the beta on it. Beta. Come on. My mouse, if you guys can tell, it kind of stops for a second. This is why I've got to go to Best Buy tomorrow and use the Square Trade insurance that I have on this thing and turn it in and get it something new. Come on, mouse. Gotta love it when it stops working.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Squad up, my brothers.
I know. I'm showing all this stuff.
This is Sparta strong.
Let's see. I have the Blue Angel. I have that rainbow fish. I have the Mabu Puffer, the beta from Priscilla. I have, let's see, I don't have the Rhino. Oh, that's it. Okay. I'm sure she has other stuff she's done. Frog looks awesome. The black and white, black crown tail beta original art looks awesome. I like the Rhino, too. Beautiful pics. So, and then she's got her prints. Black Dragon beta print. I might have to be getting that from you.
Fish Tropics says E-Money, does your Oscars barrel roll like captains? Not yet, man. They be barrel rolling on each other. That's what they do. They don't hurt each other, but they do sometimes like go around each other, like almost roll over each other.
Sorry, Priscilla, I'm just checking out your About page. It's looking good. The website looks good. Contact. See that? Let's check out the portfolio.
So Priscilla opened up a website, hustle that art.
Right.
You hustling art now, sis? Let me find out, sis. You getting that paper soon, huh? That's what I'm talking about. Let's get it.
All right, I'm stopped sharing that. All right, close that. Priscilla. Priscilla MKR says, "Oh dang, you got a widescreen." It's all good, Priscilla. I do have, well, actually, most I have dual monitors. They're 24 inches. They're not big, but they're not bad either. So I've been looking on Facebook Marketplace. I found one for like 50 or 75 bucks for a 27-inch Asus monitor. You know, a gaming monitor that's freaking awesome. I can't believe they're selling it for that cheap, but they're like, yeah, I got a better, newer one. And I bought 5 of these monitors. I don't need this one anymore. So, Priscilla MKR says, thank you, as long as it's easy to navigate. It seemed very easy to navigate for me. Just the one thing that makes it hard for me to navigate is when my mouse stops working randomly. That's why if you notice when I was sharing the screen, I was always trying to fidget with the mouse to keep it moving, because when I stop, that's when it like kind of stalls out. It gets a mind of its own. Let's see. Steve, where are you from? Says Fish Tropic. Steve Ford says northeast of England. Wow, nice. Over the pond.
I'm telling you, it's amazing how we speak to people that's having breakfast right now.
Hey, Priscilla, I built a lot of websites in my day, so if you ever have questions, hit me up. If I have free time, I'll do my best to get it back with you, and we'll give you suggestions. A lot of the software is kind of like drag and drop, but if you're looking for that special, you build it manually with whatever program or whoever you have the website through is always the better bet, because you get more customization.
Yeah, does it take long to put a website up?
No, it all depends on what type of. Honestly, the hardest thing I did was researching out the different sites to find the best rate for what I wanted to do, the most amount of domain names I could have, and websites. I used to have, I can't remember what it's called, the one with Fat Cow or whatever, because it would be unlimited storage for free, and I could set up as many websites off of my main account, my main domain name.
Yeah.
But I could link with, like, you know, all that. So I researched. There's been a lot of new websites that are coming out because they're cutthroating it, you know, to get people in. But Fat Cow is, I think it's called Fat Cow, is the one I used because they had the most customization and the most free premium things that people would charge extra money for. You know what I mean? In my experience, but it could be totally different now. I don't know, because I haven't run a site for a while, just due to financial reasons. Like when I start really selling fish, that's when I'll build a site for myself. Once I have a little bit of a return on the investment on the fish. Because
once you build a site, it just stays on forever?
As long as you're paying the membership costs. Normally I pay a year or 2 years up front, so there can be quite a bit of cost to it. You know,
okay. So when you do a website, you got to go through someone for them to make it like legit, basically, and run it for you.
Well, what it is unless you have your own server that you have currently and you're into technology, you can run it from your old place, but you have to have like a domain name and point the domain towards your server, and then you have to get into linking it through your ISP, because most of the time, most people's ISPs, you're on a DHCP, which we dynamic HawK protocol or something like that. I can't remember. Don't mind my terminology. I'm tired. I can't remember everything.
No, I understand. I just
but you get a random one. It regenerates a random one, or you get to lease an IP for a certain amount of time. So that's when you got to tell your ISP, hey, I want a static IP, and then you pay a little bit more money per month, and they'll give you a static IP, which will never change. Then you can link it and put the domain forwarding towards your server, home-based server on your computer. But I would rather this pay so people take care of that back-end stuff, all that other nonsense, even though I can build servers myself. You know, I grew up with building computers.
You go to what, like a app or something, and create the website, and then it just.
Well, a lot of them, like Fat Cow, they'll have like a template builder, like, you know, a cookie cutter type thing, where you can go in even with no coding. It's drag and drop. You upload photos,
Yeah.
And you just place them, and it'll resize automatically for you, or it'll tell you, hey, you need to resize this photo to this size, or this many pixels by this many pixels.
So basically, like if you use, like, for instance, like let's just say like a thumb maker or something where you can edit photos or pictures like that, and then you just basically like upload them into that site.
Pretty much.
And
it's pretty easy. If you go up, honestly, if you look on YouTube how to build a website, and especially if you go with like Fat Cow or what's the other one that Danica Patrick's part of, which is pretty damn expensive because I had them for a while. I can't remember the name off the top, but it was one of the more expensive ones that you see commercials of on the Super Bowl with Danica Patrick. And
yes, and then basically, so you basically, after that, you basically could do like
well, they'll set the basic site up, and you just add the pictures and add your descriptions and stuff like that, or a price. You can make a website that's like a shopping cart one, where it's more of an e-commerce store.
Yeah, I would like something simple like that. Like if you would set up a website, let's say you have merchandise, fish food, just simple, like pictures, click on it, you know, like something real simple, go to the checkout. You know what I'm trying to say? Yeah. So would something like that be easy to develop?
It's pretty easy because a lot of places make it easy for people that want to do it, where they have preset up templates where it'll put the site and it'll say add picture here or add your logo here, add your description here, and then you can rename page names and stuff like that, and it'll automatically do it in the background. So it's literally plug and play. You know what I mean? Plug in your info that you want to plug in, and you're done.
Yeah, you know? Priscilla says do Squarespace or Shopify. Yeah, Shopify.
Yeah, they have certain things where you can go through them. You can actually start up a free website, but if you really want to be legit, it's when you buy a domain name, which you can buy through whatever site you're going through. Like
how much would realistically, like an average, like 2 years, like you say, would cost someone?
Depending on what product or what service you use, it all depends. Could range as cheap as $50 to $75 for like a year, up to like $200 or $300 for a couple of years. But that includes your domain, because you have to buy it for a year, and then it'll ask you when it comes to renew. And most names, if you're only getting the .com, which is usually the most expensive, is like somewhere between $2 and $10 at most, right, for the year. Or you can buy like all the different names, and you're talking like $50 in a shot, or $25 for like .net, .com, .org, .biz, all these other endings. And then you just forward it to like your .com or your website, which is really easy. Most of these places have YouTube videos showing you how to do certain things, so you can learn right on their website before you even start building it on how to do things, where it shows you the back end or fake end. Priscilla says mine is like $50 a month.
Yes.
See, you can do month to month and have a bunch of options, or you can pay it for the year up front, 2 years, 3 years. They give you a bit better discount every year you pay up in advance.
Of course, but obviously it's like the way Priscilla doing this is kind of like, let me test the waters first.
Yeah, you could do that. You could just set up a site real cheap for $25, $30. Maybe not buy the domain name. You know what I mean? Or you buy it.
I'm pretty sure they give you an option, right? Like you could pay the $50 the first month and then change it for 3 years if it does good or whatever.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. I mean, most of the time, a lot of the time, if you put your you want to be contacted, they'll call you on the phone and talk you through everything, and have you go on your computer or whatever you have, a laptop or a tablet, and
that's funny. She said they gave her a month for free.
Yeah, and you know, some guys offer advertising credits. Like I think Fat Cat was offering like $100 or $200 in advertising credits to Google AdSense and a bunch of other things, so you can get your website out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and one more question, right? Like with the website, right? Do you make money also if people visit the website? How do that?
if you can do that on a website. You can add a bunch of linking things where if people click on it, you get paid per click. You can do that route, like they have ClickBank and Click or something like that, where you can earn money. But Priscilla says the lower version is like 30 a month. You still can do a shop, but with the premium version, you'll get all the gadgets, offering gift cards, and being professional as fuck. Yeah. So it all depends on what level you want to pay for, what level of service you want to pay for. You can get the bare bones where you got really there's always customer support, but you might have to pay for it. Whereas if you were paying for a more premium package, you might get 2 free customer supports where they walk you through and they actually log into your website and change stuff for you, like free for twice, which is usually $100 or a couple $100 a time. You know what I mean? Where you can actually have a professional web developer on your site showing you what to do. You know?
Yeah, that's because I know, like back in the days, it was like that. Like people used to make money just by people going into their websites, right? Without
well, they drive traffic through their website to another site, so it was less the portal to get to somewhere else. Like kind of how, like, for example, let's use my YouTube in my description. I started up in like an Amazon Associates account. If someone clicks on the link and buys a product, one of the fish family, I get a tiny, like 1 or 2 or 3%, depending on what it is for that item. They'll send it to me, and I think you can claim a check or have it direct deposited to your account after the first 10 or 20 bucks, and then after that, it's like $10 at a time or $5 you can pull out at a time. And honestly, Priscilla says, I guess it always depends on how much money you make and how much you invest into your business. Like if you're just starting up a business, like for example, when I start to sell these fish, it'll be like Captain Savage Aquatics, whatever, Inc. or Corp or whatever, because I actually had corporate consulting set up under its own IEN, which is like a business tax ID number. So I probably just use corporate consulting doing business as Captain Savage Aquatics. You know what I mean? So corporate consulting would make the money for tax-wise if I have to pay the government any money, whatever. Yeah,
that's crazy.
So, because I was thinking, because my father sent me to training in what he does, where he upgrades Oracle PeopleSoft systems for big companies. He worked for Boeing upgrading their financial system.
Yeah.
That does billions of transactions every day.
So it adds up,
Yeah, so it all depends. Honestly, how I learned was watching YouTube videos, watching the videos that they have, going to other forums, because back then when I started learning about web design was when I taught myself how to do HTML a long time ago. This would have been like 20, 25 years ago. I was probably 8 or 10 years old, and I was teaching myself how to code, in HTML when you had like Geocities.
That's what's up, man. I remember when I was in like junior high school, all the technology was starting to really kick off and all of that. And I used to really be into computers, and I'm talking about, remember when they had the Carmen Sandiego computer game?
Yeah, I remember that. I used to play it all the time with my buddy.
Exactly. So from that era, I remember I was like, how you was teaching yourself how to be tech savvy. You know how that joint was like a game where you really had to use different keys, and you know what I'm trying to say?
Oh, yeah.
So it's crazy because from that point to now, I can imagine everyone that really started tuning in on technology, and it seems kind of hard for people when they're looking outside in, but when you like starting in that from the beginning, man, and you start learning how to do your thing, bro, it's crazy, man, what you could do.
Right. Well, I grew up with computers before the personal computer was realistic for people to buy. Like my friend Andrew, my best buddy that I grew up, I've known him since I was like 5 years old and he was 4, and now I'm 38. My best buddy that was across the fence. Me and him wore out that fence in between our 2 properties. It was a chain link fence. There still is a bow in that fence because it hasn't been replaced yet.
Wow.
For me and him hopping over, mostly me going to his place because he had the old Tandy 386 computer that his parents bought a long time ago, and it could play the 8-bit games like Demon Stalkers and stuff like that were like 2D,
That's crazy.
You know, I remember growing up playing Doom and all that when it started becoming 3D modeling and all that shit, you know. I used to teach myself all kinds of crazy stuff because I thought programming was interesting. And on a side note, I'll talk to you more about that if we ever have a private chat between us.
Yeah, definitely. We definitely gonna have to do that because, like, you know, later on down the line, I would, like I said, that good looking out to the brother DPK Fish Aquariums hooked me up with that nice logo. I would like to create some type of merch here and there, and I would like to do like a little you know, something real simple, real simple website where you could just go look at some cool merch and just keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? Nothing too like flipping through mad. You know what I mean? I don't want nothing too complicated because, you know, sometimes you go to these websites and it's so complicated and all that. And then there's these cool websites that's so like clean and simple. You go in there and it's like boom. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, Priscilla says, like, for example, I made 8,000 off of art stuff last year, but it's 15% off of that is for shipping supplies and extra product to sell. 10% goes into my website. So she's saying if you're going to start an online store, start small, like just get kind of really basic what you need just to get your products out there. You know
what she mean by, like, that's what I mean. What you mean by start your website small?
Like, you know, don't make it like, hey, you know, don't let them talk to you if someone calls you on the phone, talking into having a professional website designed and all that. That's where you can spend hundreds, if not thousands of dollars on a website, you know? Wow. She's saying start small, you know, pay 10 or 20, 30 bucks a month if you want to do month to month to see how you like it. You know what I mean? And a lot of them have a 30-day or 60-day money back guarantee. If you don't like how their stuff's going, you can get your whole investment back, except for like a domain name. Those you pay up, but a domain name you can transfer because you own that domain name under your name. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
So I would always suggest starting small and going from there. You know, you know what? I've helped people build, geez, over my years, probably I want to say easily over a couple hundred websites. And I've probably done about 50 to 100 myself.
That's amazing, bro.
Now, I don't know all the new coding because they're on to all the new coding for these websites like C# and all that you can code and make a website out of it and really make it snappy and snazzy. I don't know all that. I'd like to go into a place that has a good template and then modify the template for what I need because I can learn code that way really quickly. There's anything hands-on where I have to type or whatever, it's like I learn better doing hands-on stuff. So
I definitely got to get up with you when I'm ready, bro.
Yeah. And, you know, and people were trying to offer me money. At one point, I did do it to make money, but I'm not like that. If people want help, not saying I'm the best person, I can at least steer you in the right direction. And as more and more fish fam comes on, sometimes you find people that do it for a living where they design websites and they can be like, yeah, I can hook you up real cheap, you know?
Yeah, definitely. I know that. And at the end of the day, you know, you can't be mad at nobody that can help you and that's willing to help you. But at the end of the day, damn, you know, you will have to compensate somebody else if you was really trying to put yourself in that situation anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. You know, I'm all good. If someone wants to, like, hey, I want to give you something and they're part of the fish family, I'm good with bartering. Hey, you got some fish that you had recently spawned that I might be interested in?
Word up.
Let's do it up, you know?
Word up.
That's like what I did with BB, which disappeared. I think he went to bed finally. But he sent me some pearl weed or whatever. You know, he's just a young kid, I think 14, 15 years old. So he really doesn't have, I don't think he works, or if he does, he only works one day a week because he's in school still. So, you know, he's like, if I'll send you pearl weed if you just pay the shipping. So all I did was send him like $8 or $10 or whatever it was to ship the pearl weed. But he's like, hey, I can send you more if you know, you'll send me some like red cherry shrimp or super red. So I owe him a couple of little super reds because I want to always send an extra just in case. Because I have yet to send out something or ship a live fish to someone. I mean, I have packages from Sergeant Tanks, all our Brett's that I just kept the boxes and all of the insulation to them. but I have my own bags and stuff like that, fish bags. So I just got to get heat packs. I ordered them. I just haven't seen them yet. You know, the 72-hour heat packs, because it's damn cold up here in upstate right now. It's negative 12 or 13 out in Saranac Lake where I live.
That's what's up, though. This fish fam is amazing because you don't know who's who, man. It ain't who you are, it's who you know.
Exactly. Well, that's life. Honestly, the people that network the most, in a lot of ways, can succeed at life better, because it's all about who you know. You know,
Yep.
word of mouth.
And not being afraid to ask for help.
Yep. Well, that's how I used to be when I was in the military and the Marine Corps. When I was done with Iraq, I was having nightmares and all that shit from the stuff I had to do, shit that happened to me, stuff that happened to buddies. No one died, luckily, in my unit. But I had other buddies that went over right after I got back, when I got my orders to go to Okinawa, Japan, a day before or 2 days before I was supposed to go back to Iraq, that a couple of my good buddies died while they were serving over in Iraq, going back to the Second War. You know what I mean?
Wow.
We were literally back for we were supposed to be back for 30 days. We got orders like 15 days in, 20 days in on our leave, you know, getting back stateside. And they're like, yeah, you know, you cleaned all those tools, now clean them up again and get ready to ship them back over to Iraq or Kuwait. And then you got to move back up, and that's where a lot of the roadside bombs and stuff were starting to become big in Iraq. All the different Taliban and all the terrorist groups working their way in, or Ba'athist Party members that were pissed that we had beat Saddam and all that stuff. So
shit is real, but my nephew, he's a paratrooper. He does his thing too. He's really doing his thing. He's, you know, got his wings, his ranks up. He's really good, man. He actually is he's a undercover, one of the undercover dudes too. Like, he makes sure that nobody's in there is doing drugs and doing stuff like that. Like, he's really doing his thing in there.
oh yeah, well, they have, like, across most branches, they have the don't ask, don't tell kind of policy. You know what I mean? But now it's more nationally recognized that now people that have come out of the closet, they're not like frowned upon as much. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I got nothing against anyone that swings that way or does their own thing. That's their call, what they want to do. If you're a dude, please don't hit on me. That's all I ask.
Yeah,
you know, we can be chill, but just don't hit on me. Like, I'm not racist against that. I just, you know, I have my limits on things.
Yeah.
Not to be negative or anything like that, but everyone has their limits.
Yeah, he's one of those that jump out those choppers and all that, and he does it all that shit. But then, you know, they move up in ranks and all that, and he's been doing his thing, man.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. Good for him.
Yeah.
Tell him to stay safe the next time you talk to him.
Nah, yes, I always tell him to stay safe, man. I always tell him to stay safe, man. I believe he's in North Carolina now.
Oh, really? Awesome. Yeah, see, well, we could get our jump wings, but we'd have to go to the one of the Army bases. I think Fort Bragg or something like that, to get our Army wings, because depending on the type of unit you went to, if you went Marine Recon or was able to pass their test and get groomed to do that, you have to go for parajumping. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he definitely did all that. He did a tour too and all that, and then now he's in California, North Carolina, over there stationed.
Nice. Now, did you say he was in the Marine Corps, or is he in the Army? Oh, I can't remember what you said. Sorry.
He's in the Army, and he's a paratrooper. One of those.
Oh, yeah, they have that as one of the special. Yeah, they actually made the Army had the first paratrooping unit that came off horseback. You know, they were the mounted cavalry, and then they became the whatever it is.
Yep, he's one of those dudes that was one of them original back in the days that started those. You know what I mean? With he got his wings, and he's been doing his thing, man. I'm proud of him. You know, I'm back in it, but that's like in my blood too. Like my grandfather used to be in the service in Puerto Rico and all that back in the days, and
nice.
Because, you know, Puerto Rico got the Army base and all that from back in the days, and
oh yeah, Well, if you notice, the U.S. has literally any place that we've gone in to help, we end up setting up a base in that country or that state or whatever it is, you know?
Definitely.
Like Okinawa, Japan, when we went over there, we set up a base for part of the rebuilding process, you know? Plus, that gave us a foothold in, what is it, Southeast Asia? So.
Definitely good talking there. Good. I learned a lot right now from you, brother. Besides fish, but definitely a lot of information that I just digested.
Well, just as Fish Tropic says, you know, I'll straight up, if I don't know and I have a rough idea, I'll give you my opinion, take it for what it's worth, but still do your own research. You know what I mean?
Yeah, not definitely.
Honestly, most people, unless they can be told what to do, but they actually have to try for themselves before they actually truly learn. You know what I mean?
Definitely, but I'm a person that I just since a young age I just always love to pick the brains of people that experience things that I haven't. You know what I'm trying to say? Because at the end of the day, man, that's how you learn from each other. Like I love OGs. I love people like older people. Like I love to act like, you know how you look at people that's 70, 80 years old. You're like, yo, this person right here been through some shit right here, man.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
When you could vision, like when I be like thinking like this person was alive in the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, like are you fucking, excuse the language, are you serious? They see so much, bro.
Yeah, well, that's all, just like anything. Life is an experience. It's all based on your experiences, how you view the world and your opinions are formed and all that. You know, I never said I know everything about fish keeping, web building, or website building, anything like that. I know a little bit about everything to be dangerous. Because
a well-rounded animal.
Yeah, right. Like I like to say when people ask me, what did you do in the military? I'd be like, I was a combat engineer. I got to build shit and blow it up. Quite literally. You know, believe me, I miss the military. If I could get in, which I passed the age limit, I think I would actually try and go back and just to be the old guy and teach.
And you remember all the shit you used to do, how to do it and all of that?
For the most part, some of the stuff's foggy now, but once you get back in, that shit comes back to you pretty quick. Once you start doing it again. Of course, just like they say in life, if you don't use it often, you lose it type of a thing.
Yeah.
You know, I probably couldn't do all the math right now to set up enough C4, but I still, or to make shape charges or whatever to blow different things, but I have enough hands-on experience that if I started touching and molding and working, just from eyesight and this doing it enough times, you know, making IEDs, you know, because we had to learn how to build them in order to be able to disarm them or blow them up in a safe way. Because we had our own mine detectors. We were the jerks that had to go out if there was a minefield, the unit got blown up or damaged. We would be the jerks that would have to clear a path right through the minefield, and you know,
that's why it's freaking amazing, bro. You don't know who's who, what they've been through. Like I look at you, man, like and the way we rock and interact, and I would never think at the end of the day, not for any other reason, but you know how you look at people and you can't even really put into words or an imagination of what they've been through in life. And when someone be like, yeah, I've been through this in the army and blah, 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 and I did this with explosives, and you be like, what the hell? Like you wouldn't even, you know what I mean? It's crazy.
Well, it's hard to believe the people too that have seen shit. That's why, like, I'll be honest, when I came back from Iraq, like the only people that I really told what was going on that I met up with were like my best friends, because, you know, there's no judgment there. Not saying they're going to judge, but they'll believe what I'm saying based on knowing me for so long. But other people you meet out in the bar, where when I got back, people were buying me drinks left and right. Oh, you served over in Iraq? Because, you know, hey, I'm not going to lie. When I was after getting back, I became even bigger lush, because we would bury shit that we saw and did and all that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Everyone acts differently. That's the one thing I regret, was when I was in the military, being young and dumb. I wish I had reported it and went to the VAS as they call it, like the med hall or whatever. They call it VAS in the Marine Corps. I wish I went in there and had that really put into my records where I saw like a psychiatrist and all that shit, because I probably would have been medically discharged. Looking back on it, you know, the what ifs, I would have been set for my life, because I know people that got out for medical discharges that are making that, even though you only serve 4 years, it's like you serve 20 or 30 years in, because if you get medically discharged, depending on what it's for, so we post-traumatic stress disorder and like a TBI, if I really pushed it then. Yeah. Knowing what I know now and how hard it is to deal with the VA, I could have been sitting pretty, you know, with 100% disability with 20 years in, because anyone that gets disabled at 100% leaving the military from active duty, you can make like $3 or $4 grand a month tax-free for the rest of your life.
Wow. And
I technically wouldn't have to work right now, you know, because I barely even make half that, or a little bit more than half that. And
are you getting compensated from them still, or?
Oh yeah, well, I have some disability, but I'm fighting with the VA. Like, I try to get my rating up. I'm not gonna lie, I'm at 30% disabled from post-traumatic stress disorder, which some days I feel like I should be 100%. Based on talking to me, a VA rep, he doesn't know why I'm not at least 50%. So it goes up to 30% initially, and then if you bump up, it automatically jumps to 50 to 70, somewhere in that range. And they denied the thing. Straight up, we think you're the same, blah, blah, blah. It's because they don't want to pay out. You know what I mean? Because it's all tax-free money.
And the reason you said you wish you would have mentioned some of it earlier is because what they try to say.
I was too proud and too young and dumb to actually mention it and get it recognized and have it put in my service record book or my SRB and have it put into my medical records.
Got you. So since you didn't mention it early, they figure that you were right or something like that?
You know,
since you didn't mention it to them early, they figure you just making it up now or something.
Oh, no. I did, when I was over there in Iraq, before we left Iraq, they gave us a survey. Do you think you were exposed to chemical weapons? I checked that shit off because at one of the bases, they was known to store chemical weapons, and heavy metals was in the soil in our command, or the base general or the base colonel said everyone is not allowed to sleep on their trucks. You got to set up tents or whatever and sleep on the soil within your, your sleeping bag or whatever. And everyone got sick for 2 or 3 weeks, puking. Horrible. Sorry, I don't mean to be really, TMI, but horrible diarrhea, bleeding out their butt. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But the NBC, National and I can't remember what it says, but biological control, the people that tell if there's chemical weapons or can pick it up. Yeah, they said, if I was you, I wouldn't be sleeping on the soil. I would late at night sneak on top of your thing and get hammered that morning because you were sleeping on the truck. You know what I mean? Because honestly, everyone got sick for 2 or 3 weeks at a minimum. You felt like shit. You were literally holding your ass or your butthole, trying to clench your ass closed to try and make it to where the crappers were. And I know it's too TMI, I understand.
Nah, brother, that's real life shit, man.
No, but I put that, got sick. There was the biggest sandstorm. I don't know if they've had a bigger one. It was 2 or 3 weeks where we had to sit on the hardball where we're at because it was a storm that they never seen that size before. You could see it from space. Wow. They were saying how the push to Baghdad got stopped a month in or 3 weeks in due to this massive sandstorm. At one point, no joke, when I was over there, we were so far from anyone. We were at least 150, 200 miles from the closest unit. And this was only our thing. So we set up a circle, setting up the wagons, if, back in the day when they would set up the wagons because they were afraid Indians would attack. That's how we circled our vehicles. But we had space in between them. It wasn't tight locked. And then anyone that wasn't on overwatch or duty watching out, during that sandstorm, we had NVGs, night vision goggles, and starlight goggles, scopes on our bigger weapons that we set up. but like you couldn't see shit like 10 feet in front of the vehicle.
Wow.
That's how bad the sand is. Just think of a massive whiteout during a snowstorm. And you think that's bad? Wait till sand. Dude, we had sand in places you wouldn't want to have sand. Put it that way. And with how hot it was over there, like at night, no joke, 70, 80 degrees temperature swing at night. The desert does in the winter get into the single digits, if not into the negatives at night. When we were in Kuwait, it was like negative 10 or 20 below, and we didn't have heavy weather gear with us because you figure with the desert. But we were over there, and I think I was over there December 28th or 29th. We didn't push over and attack Iraq or bag, Saddam's forces till March.
Wow.
So, and then I was there for about another 6 months. You know what I mean? Yeah.
So how many years you served?
I served 4 years.
4
Or
years.
I got out early because I had about a 90 or 110 days saved up of leave. Because, like I said, any major holidays didn't cost us against vacation days. When I took a vacation was when my grandfather wasn't doing it very well and he passed away. When I was up there, I think that was when I first got back from Iraq. He hung on till I got back from Iraq, and I couldn't go into the room because all the shit and dead bodies and all that shit. That's the one thing I regret. I was there, he couldn't talk. You know what I mean? My grandfather was like 93 or 94 or, early 90s. I can't remember his age. I'm bad with ages and dates and stuff with that.
God rest his soul, my brother.
Yeah. I mean, it's been quite a few years since that happened because I came back in late 2003, mid to late summer 2003, because the war started, I think, March 2003. So this would have been 2002. We were over there in Kuwait and then into 2003. So.
And the 4 years you did, it was out there, or you would come out?
Well, I was stationed stateside, as you want to call it. My main duty station was Camp Lejeune, North Carolina, in Jacksonville. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I was stationed there for 3 years, just about, and then I got my orders just before had been back for a month, like I explained earlier, to go to Okinawa, Japan. Now, I know a lot of people leaving. Thank you for watching. I know everyone's saying stuff like Carlos in the chat. Sorry that I'm not keeping up with it. Just chatting with the people, E-Money and Jason, if he's not off doing his own thing. But Jason's pretty active in the chat, so he's talking to everyone. But it's crazy. I don't know where I was going. I lost my train of thought. That's the other thing with my TBI. Ever since I had that explosion happen to me and it threw me back into the truck, I had frag in my Kevlar. Literally, it was touching my skull, just about touching my skull, a big metal shard.
Now, we was talking about your grandfather at one point right there.
Oh, yeah. That's the one thing I regret is when I went to see my grandfather in the nursing home, he was full care at that point. You know what I mean? Everything was being done. He had like a feeding tube, I think.
Wow.
Come to find out, I guess he fell while he was there and hurt himselse, but he had another bleed in his brain. He did that at my parents' house where he fell and he didn't say anything. And then he wasn't really coherent with his thoughts. And my parents finally convinced the old guy or my grandfather to go in and have a look. And then they found the first bleed. After that, he was changed a lot. You know what I mean?
Wow. Yeah, sometimes.
So it was a very slow bleed because he just had fallen and cracked his head off the floor or part of the banister going outside his room because he lived up on the second floor of my parents' place because they were trying to take care of him. My mother was. But he didn't say anything because you know how the OGs are, the old guys are, and the old women are. They don't want to complain, especially when you do it so much for them, So long story short, that second bleed, he happened to fall out of his bed. They didn't notify my parents or my dad or my mother or anyone in the family. So I don't know whatever came with that. I think they were going to go sue the place because they're supposed to notify you when things like that, a medical event happens, So long story short, they found that. They stopped the bleed, but that bleed had been so bad that it damaged a good portion of his brain,
Wow.
Unfortunately.
Shout out to the fish fam, y'all. Sorry we here talking real life stuff, man.
Yep.
It's interesting, man. Shout out to everybody still here. My brother Aquarium Cop, Curly Bunny in the house. DPK Fish Aquariums, the logo king in the house. My brother Fish Tropic in the house. Priscilla in the house. Cichlid OG in the house. My brother Pro Tim in the house. Island Queen in the house. 54 Punchy in the house. If you guys are all here, you already know love is love. Always, we appreciate y'all. My brother Captain Savage, man, is a savage, y'all. Real life official dude right here, man. Been through some life stuff, man.
I do this to keep myself sane.
My brother,
and
like,
honestly,
just know you got,
go ahead. Sorry.
Not just know that you got brothers and sisters, man. Real talk, bro. Any time you need to talk to me, hit me up, bro, on some real bro shit, man.
Oh yeah. I talked about anyone that'll listen, to be honest with you, because that's how I keep working through my issues, by talking on the fish fam and letting shit out that's bothering me. Priscilla MKR says E is owning it up. Love is love.
Sis, you already know love is love, man.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Cop says me is Soapy Bajorny.
That's my brother. Meow.
Yeah, right now. Well,
yeah, Aquarium Cop, show them some love, talk some fish with them, keep these guys motivated.
Right. Come on, mouse work. All right. VV23 is back. What's up? Island Queen says we got 46 members to the new group already today. That's awesome. You know, more and more people are going to move over there. Darcy, thanks for setting that group up. It's great to hear. VB23 says, finishing my journal. I'm back. Sweet. We've been just talking about real life shit. I don't know if you kept the stream open in the background where you're doing your schoolwork and stuff like that. So let me go to Facebook to make sure I'm part of that group. I'm pretty sure I already put something in.
I don't know what group y'all talking about, but I'll catch on to that group sooner or later.
Entered an old password. Get you in the password. Fuck yeah.
Chris Shack Aquatics in the house. How you doing, Chris Shack? Squad up. Thank you for stopping by the Brother Captain Savage stream.
Oh, come on. Well,
yo, Tropic, you better jump on this live, Fish Tropic. You over here trying to be Lolo. You better jump on here and be a hall monitor.
Shit. Sent it to my email. That's all right. I can get an email off my phone.
Aquarium Cop, wax on, wax off. I'll be back. Gotta get home, says Fish Tropic. Where you went, yo? You went to go get a bottle of some E&J or something?
No, he said his phone was going to die, so he was going to hop off for a bit to let it charge up.
Oh, okay. That means he's hanging out. That's what he's in the street.
Yeah, I told you, man. I was at the range all night.
Oh, what you doing? What you was busting over there today?
You know, keep it on the low. But yeah, like up here in Canada, like to even shoot a firearm legally, you need to have like your license. You have to have all of these things. You have to be a member at a range. You know, if you have a big property, maybe up north or something, you could probably go out there and do some clay shooting or whatever. But, you know, like I keep saying to people, everybody has different hobbies. So it's like you don't have to just show your fish. You could show your drone. You could show how you fish. You know, it's...
Yep.
You can make your channel just multiple things where people stop in just to see what you're up to, really, because at that point, it's not just a viewer. It's kind of like fans, right?
It's facts.
So,
it's basically you sharing your life's experiences together.
Yeah, and like everyone everyone has different experiences, different opinions, and it's cool to see everybody doing a little something different, right?
Facts. In the summer, in the spring and the summer, y'all gonna see me doing a lot of live streams while I'm fishing and all that. That's definitely gonna be some of the stuff I'm gonna try to interact with y'all while I'm doing, man.
Mm-hmm. Well, I got a bunch of bins that I picked up when they were on sale, like the 15 or 20 gallon blue bins with the, like the beer coolers, the beer bins where you can put ice and stuff, open top, that I'm just going to set up outside. I already talked to my landlord if I'm going to stick around here much longer. He said I could set up, he's like, even if you got a real big stock tank, like a 300 gallon, like you've been searching for, as long as you put it on like cinder blocks, or if you kill the grass, when you take the thing down for the winter or whatever, as long as the next spring you scratch it up and put new grass seed down, which I know you can, because I used to landscape for like 16 years, which I can easily do and get grass to grow. He's like, I'm cool with it. Just if you make a mess, clean it up. That's all I ask. I'm like,
that's real. That's real.
My landlord's pretty chill. He's like, yeah, even if in the basement where I got my he likes to work on RC cars, like remote control cars and stuff like that. He's like, even if not where my desk is, but if you want to set up tanks down there, just let me know. The only thing you can't block access to is under your apartment where the clean out for the traps for your apartment is. I have to be able to access those. So I'm like, that's cool. He's like, but all along this wall, you want to put some big tanks out here? That'd be awesome, because I'd love to see some tanks and whatever freshwater tanks out there. Because he's a falconer, so he brings his bird in during the winter and different days to clean up the feet and stuff on it. So he's got a big falcon.
DPK says, I'm going to try to catch some markers. Macro, I meant. Angelo BX says, yo, I'm coming fishing with you, E-Money. You already know, brother. We going to go catch some striped bass, some flounder, fluke, some black sea bass, some blues. You already know. We trying to catch all those big boys. DP says, I hope I could catch a cobra or a snook.
Yeah, right? That'd be awesome. I haven't been deep sea fishing in a while.
Priscilla's MK said, my secret hobby is to sort M&Ms into color piles.
Yeah, right? That's awesome.
That's your secret hobby or your therapy, sis? I wish I would separate a bunch of M&Ms without eating all them shits.
Don't mind me. I got Facebook open in the background. I'm trying to get part of that group right now.
Jump in. I'm just trying to make sure we keep these guys entertained. We got 14 back in the hizzy. Let's go, y'all. Let's go. Share this stream. It's only Sunday morning, y'all. Let's make it happen.
And what was the name of the group Priscilla says? Because I can't find. I have so many notifications I get that shit gets buried really quickly.
Priscilla, write the name to the group again.
Darcy, Island Queen.
Oh, Darcy, Island Queen. Please drop the name in of the group.
Or you can do it in the Facebook chat I just opened up from your message earlier. Drop it in there and I'll just click the link. It's all good. You can post it in here, Darcy, too, from Facebook. I have no problem.
Priscilla says all about discipline, E. Aquarium Cops, E-Money, go to Willowbrook Park in Staten Island. You will catch a flower horn. No joke. People throw all their fish there they can't keep. You went there yet, Aquarium Cop? Yo, you gotta pick me up, bro. Let's go hang out one day, bro. Come pick me up and let's go see what we catch in those ponds. I got some rods on deck. I got some lures. I got all that.
Yeah, you got a shitload of that stuff too. One thing I got to do is I got to go fix my fishing gear because I let one of the guys I support a couple years ago, because I didn't get to fish this year, unfortunately. Phoenix Aquatics 411 Legacy said, hello, Captain Savage. Hello, Melvin. How are you, buddy?
Let me go check out this group real quick. That's the group.
Yeah. No. That's cool.
That's the group that Priscilla dropped, or that's Priscilla?
That was the group, probably Priscilla. It was Darcy, Island Queen.
No, but Priscilla dropped the link in here.
Yeah, I just clicked on this join. Fish Troopers, Tubers Notification Squad. Thank you, Priscilla, posting that link. Appreciate that. This is join notifications check. Captain Savage. All right, let me close out of Facebook.
I just joined. I'm gonna hit you with a big squad up right now.
Dr. Experimentus, what's up? Long time no see. There's music 411. I'm doing good. Just got done with doing my live stream. You guys like the name of the group? I do. Straight into the point. Oh yeah, DPK says I like spider line. That stuff's hard to break. I actually, it's not that. I had spider line on my rods. I hit some pretty big fish, or my buddy, I let him use my rods because he broke his main tip. You know what I mean? He snapped the top shaft in half, or the second one back. He snapped the eye loops or whatever, because he got stuck on logs because I let him use MEPs and different things like that. The lakes up here, and he got stuck on logs and stuck in rocks and stuff. It was not a friendly thing if you're not an avid fisherman. You know what I mean? Yeah. And he ended up snapping his rod, which we ended up going out because he works full time. He almost, honestly, at one point he was making almost as much money as I was, and I was supporting him. No joke. Some of the people are really independent. They have jobs outside. They just don't want to live by themselves. You know what I mean? They're capable, you know, but it is what it is, right?
Yep.
They're a person with, you know, some type of mental disorder or whatever that, you know, they might not be able to pick up on social cues and takes everything like personally. Is really, what do you want to call it? Whatever you say, you know, they believe 100%. You know what I'm saying? They're very literal people. So long story short, I let him do that. He broke his rod or lost enough lures, and he was tired of fishing. So I let him use. I had brought 3 or 4 of my rods with me, and he broke 2 out of the 3 or 2 out of the 4.
Wow.
I broke one that day myself because I ended up falling, and I broke the rod because I landed on top of it. You know what I mean?
Shout out to Priscilla, man. Good night, sis. Nighty nighty, all she says. Good night.
Good night. Good night. DPK says the braided line is good too, but it'll eat up those eye rings. Yeah. Honestly, what I like to do is I used to, for the eye rings or eyelets, which I learned an old trick, is I would put a little bit of wax. You know how you got the wax candles when they burn, right? Yeah. I take some of that and I put it on the eyelets before I used it. You know what I mean? Almost like wax in a surfboard, right? Yeah, so any of those rough lines, it would reduce the friction, or the wax would, even though you couldn't see really the wax, or I'd leave it where it was coated on there, the line would eventually wear through that wax and get down, but the very bottom of it was like a very shiny polished finish, so that would last usually for, you know, a few hours with me. And if I was catching a lot of fish and really yanking on the rods, oh my god, I'd be reapplying when I could. I would literally set up a thing on top of my a candle on top of my fish box or my tackle box, and I would let it purposely melt so it could hold itself there even if it was a windy day.
Yeah, I like to use braided line.
Yeah. You know, I like spider line, but boy, if you try and use your teeth to break that shit because you can't find your knife or whatever, that shit sucks.
I learned the hard way. Yep, I learned the long way. Always keep some scissors, and not scissors, a lighter.
Oh yeah, I you know, different points I smoked. You know, my son asked me to stop smoking, so I stopped smoking. You know, I do my best. I'm not gonna lie. Have I cheated here and there? You know, because people just offered me one, and it was like they put it in my hand, and I'm like, sure, why not? Because they heard I smoked, and like, here you go. But you know, it's once in a while.
I know how it is. I have a friend that's like that. Like whenever we talk, we always talk like for like deep conversations. Like when we talk in person, so we know we're gonna be there chopping it up for a few minutes. He always be like, "I know you probably on a cigarette break, but you want to smoke one with me?" We'd be there chopping it up there.
Dude, that's the one thing is like with my agency through the insurance. I know you can. I got the Aflac cancer insurance just because my mother had breast cancer. Obviously, she made it through fine. She had a surgery and all that shit. But just cancer and stuff like that runs in my in certain parts of my family just to be safe. Because I'm not gonna lie, when I was in Iraq, sometimes in Kuwait there was nothing to do. If I wasn't doing push-ups or some kind of PT or walking around just to try and stay busy and motivated, like to try and stay awake and not sleep all day, which some days I did after I did my workout, you know, twice or sometimes three times through the deck of cards. So what I would do is when I was doing my push-ups, right, I just built up to it over the time in Kuwait because we was in like Kuwait for like 3 months. So when we weren't on duty providing security for all the incoming Kuwaitis that are bringing us other supplies like foodstuffs or water or whatever, because everything was like bottled water, or they would fill up at a plant that the U.S. inspectors or someone would be verifying that the water's safe to drink, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Like I built, no joke, I could do 2 decks of cards, no problem, like face value. So, you know, your aces are worth 11. The wild cards I even left in there, those were worth 11. Or sometimes I'd say, no, that card's worth 20, you know. But if I did all the face cards plus the joker cards, it was like 384 or 86 push-ups straight. So I literally stopped. The only time I stopped was to flip the card. So I was on my cot, my feet were on the cot, so I had pretty much the bulk of my weight down at my hands. So I just go one-handed, flip the card with the opposite hand, put it down, do the push-ups, and then flip the next card. Or if my buddy was bored, he'd flip the cards for me, so I could just continuously do them.
That's what's up.
Curly Bunny EMT says, at Captain Savage, how many guppies do you have? In these 2 tanks, probably like 300 to 400 with the babies. The 20 breeder, or 22 not breeder, bow front, there's probably about 40 or 50 in there. My 20 long in the kitchen, there's probably about 40 or 50 in that one. Every tank besides the big Oscar tank, everything, any buckets or whatever that I just have standing water or I put a sponge filter in, I probably have a few hundred to 500 or 600 of them.
I wanted to ask you guys a question, right? Since you guys dealt with guppies more than me,
Yeah.
I got my guppies. They're all growing out real nice, right? They're all the same thing. What's the safe point where I could throw them with adults?
What's that? The baby guppies?
Yeah.
The baby guppies you should be able to leave in the tank as long as you got like Java moss, or grass or guppy grass in there.
I mean the fries is already like growing big, like the ones that's like growing out already.
Yeah.
When can I transfer?
Honestly, I leave them all in the same tank. I'm not segregating the tanks yet.
Oh, because I have my adults in a different aquarium, right? Mm-hmm. And I have all these fries growing out, and I want to now put all the fries with basically mix everything together. Now,
honestly, just like any fish, if it can fit in their mouth, they'll chase the fish. But if they're kind of starting to get more juvie size, you know, young adult or juvie, or you know what I mean, almost a juvie size.
They like juvies. They like all juvies and better right now. Then
put them in the tank. It's fine. They're
they
big
got
enough.
Colors. They all got colors on them.
The fries, the actual fancy guppy's mouth is so small. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Like even for the fry, I keep them in all my tanks. I'm not separating them. Now, when I set up the breeding program that I want to do, I will be pulling fry. I will put the male and have all the males in one tank. The best looking males, the ones I want to breed with the females. I'll put them in 2 separate tanks, and then I'll have a tank where I just have the females that I want one particular or two particular males to impregnate, right? Then once the males are in there for like a week or two, based on Jason's suggestion or Fish Tropic suggestion, I'll pull the male out, put them back into the male only tank so they don't get burned out, right?
Yeah.
And die early at a young age because they're just trying to hump everything that's there, right?
Yeah, and for instance, you know, like the jewelries that I'm growing out and all that. Could they start getting pregnant with each other while they're in there growing out?
They shouldn't be. They have to hit mature enough age or old enough, you know, where the organs have developed enough to drop fry. Because fancy guppies, I don't know what you said, but did you say or you're talking the juvies?
Yeah, because they're already like, how can I say? I see some of them, right? They're looking like, they almost look like adults already, but they, you know, you can still tell that they're young.
They're probably mature enough to be able to procreate, yes.
Yes, because I see, you know how when you start seeing their bellies poking out a little bit, I don't know if I'm starting to see some of them poking out because I'm feeling them and they're getting stuffed, or because some of them are already getting big and starting to breed.
You gotta think a fancy guppy probably has a very tiny tract. It's probably this mouth, stomach, and then out the butt. You know what I mean?
Got you.
Not like a goldfish where they really don't have a true stomach, so literally they eat it and it comes out the other end in like 5 minutes or a couple minutes, you know? Guppies might be about 5 minutes, or I don't know. Someone that knows more about fancy guppies could tell me. There's probably been studies done what an average guppy, when they eat, how long it takes them for the process. It all depends on the temperature of your water too. If you want them to breed and not have the males burn out and all that, and slow them down a little bit, probably 72 to 74 degrees for most of your tanks is more of an optimum temperature, even though they're tropical fish. If you're not really trying to breed them, you can have the temperature up 76, 78, no problem. You know, because guppies, honestly, most fancy guppies that got pulled in from the wild are in makeshift rain puddles. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because I got the jar pond full of guppies. I got the 15-gallon column full of guppies, and then I got the 29 with freaking the adult kois and the redhead kois and all that. Yep. So I'm like, I don't want 3 tanks of guppies, bro. You know what I'm saying? Of course, I want a tank where I could grow them out here and there. Mm-hmm. But I also want to get some other freaking tropical fish again. I probably want to get a couple of like German rams.
Mm-hmm. I had what is it? The blues for German rams or whatever special blues or whatever, because blue's my favorite color, or they look a tinge blue. I had them in the 22 bow front. I got 5 of them, trying to get I think they were German blue rams to grow, but rams you need to have like at 80 plus degrees all the time. They like the high temperatures.
Oh yeah.
And then when you do like most things, how you get them to breed is by dropping the temperature like 3 or 4 to 5 degrees in the tank. You know, like as if it was like it rained, because you know rain's cold, so it drops the water temperature for a little while, for a couple hours, and then naturally it comes back up. You know.
Yeah, those are like basically like I haven't. Those are like one fish that I have never like kept. You know, I like how they look. I always like how they look, but they were always too small for me to put them with something. Yeah.
Well, normally you don't want to keep the rams with anything. You know what I mean? It's kind of like almost like a species only tank. Because rams have a big enough mouth that if you kept them with shrimp, they pick the shrimp off. That left the
what about with like tiger barbs?
Barbs in general are fin nippers, so you gotta be careful. But the rams, I think, can be fin nippers, and they are semi-aggressive, if I remember correctly, because they collect the territory or they start trying to pair off. You know what I mean? And breed. They just like most other, kind of like cichlids in a way. They'll take a section for themselves. Now, I'm not the most knowledgeable person on rams. It's been probably 6 or 8 months since I had the rams. But they eventually died off. I don't know what killed them, or I was on vacation. Slowly but surely, I was losing 1 or 2, and I was checking all the water parameters. I actually bought the other special kits to detect the KH, GH, or other parts of the thing to test for like phosphates and potassium in the water, making sure something didn't hit the tank that came in on the water supply that the safe dechlorinator didn't take care of. You know, sometimes fish just die. You know what I mean? I mean, and they were pretty big already, German blue rams, so they might have already been 6 months, a year old. So I don't know what the life expectancy on a German blue ram is, but I would say probably not more than 3 or 4 years. You know, and if at the size they got, they probably were adults just about already. And then I had them for like 6 or 8 months on top of that, so they might have been 2.5 years old by the time when they started dying. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Everyone loses fish, so I don't know the exact age. Maybe someone else in chat that's kept German blue rams would be more of a help on that, you know? I just don't know. And I see Fish Tropic dropped off here. Let me throw the link in the chat if anyone is interested in joining. If I can get my mouse to go over to that screen. Come on. I've been saying I was going to do something about this mouse. My computer's been acting weird, so over the last month or so, I just haven't had a chance or the ambition to actually find out what's going on with it. Maybe it's just a bad driver. You know, like there was an update for the mouse driver, and ever since then, the mouse stopped working properly. Come on, baby. There we go. Come on, move. Or could this be the mouse where I got my mouse pad and stuff? Where it's just slightly with an air gap, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I got a Razer Naga gaming mouse, you know, meant for MMOs, right? And I've used it for first-person shooters. So, Carlos says, Ramjeets have been so bad this year for my local fish store. DPK Fish Aquarium says, Rams can live up to 5 years, but it seems like I've seen them live up to 7 years, but in captivity, minimal lifespan is 3 to 4 years. So the ones I got were pretty big, and they look like the same ones because unless you really know the care on rams, they're gonna die. So you know, I kept them at 80, 81, but I was told to keep them at somewhere between 82 and 84, even sometimes higher, depending on what was going on with them. So maybe my water was a little too cold, and that stunted their growth or slowed them down, or I don't know.
Yeah, anything could have happened.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to say I'm the best fish keeper, you know. I say I've probably been in the fish hobby, like, actively, like, honestly, actively, probably for 10-ish, maybe 11, maybe 12 years. I don't know.
Listen,
I've had the spans over my life where, you know, I'm 38 years old. I probably got my first fish tank somewhere between the ages of 8 and 10 years old. But being that young of a kid playing hockey all the time and doing a bunch of different sports, I didn't have the time, and then it got left on my parents to feed the fish and all that. You know what I mean? This went down, and I didn't know there was a nitrogen cycle, or you know what I mean? Now the tanks had to be cycled. So, and of course, being a kid, when the fish died, I was like, Dad, Mom, the fish died, blah blah blah. You know how being a young kid, it's like the end of the world when something, whatever. So they, you know, they went back out and picked up another one from the store, however much it cost. You know what I mean? And I bet it was a lot of the time goldfish. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Remember, it's been too long. All right, so let me see. Come on, mouse. I can't get the damn link into the chat because my mouse won't pull out to the other screen. Come on. There it goes.
says, "Yup, it could have been a year or two old. German blues get too stressed easily."
Well, especially because it's the gene, the blue gene, and the Rams are probably so inbred that it's not a good gene pool anymore. You know what I mean?
I be seeing some real nice ones in Marshall's Aquarium. Like, they be shining. They be
Oh, definitely. Especially with an LED light, they pop in the color. You just see them just right, like when they turn, and you get that glistening from them. It's freaking awesome.
And they be looking lit. Like, they be looking like they freaking ready for something to pop off. Yeah.
So, yes, I did read that, Carlos. Actually, I think when I originally got him or was thinking about getting him, and you told me in a live stream that they're really, really frail. So water parameters are a must. That
Anybody want to jump on?
What's up?
No, I was just letting people know. Anybody want to jump on? My brother dropped the link in. You could jump in the hangout, show your fish room, show your tanks, express yourself. Feel free, y'all. Don't be shy.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, definitely. This is a safe place. Like, feel free to join. Even if you just come in, but you don't want to show your camera, it's no big deal. Or if you don't have a camera, but you have a mic, that's fine too. It's all about the fish fam. Getting people in here, sharing their experiences. I'm not going to lie, we were all, at one point, not saying it was horrible, but we all were knucklehead fish keepers at one point, you know?
Yeah, we all learn. Even to this day, man, I still learn, and I be, you know, it's the worst, man. When sometimes, like I tell y'all guys, man, it's the simplest things that you gotta stay on top of, man. You do water changes, man, and that could wipe your fish out in 1, 2, 3. So be very, very, very in tune with your aquariums. That's the most important things. Those water changes are very important, and they also very dangerous at the same time. So try not to overdo it, because sometimes you try to do the right thing, you changing the water, next thing you know, you just throw new water in there, and that new water end up wiping out those fish in seconds.
Yeah. And even though where I live in Saranac Lake, the town completely switched over to well water when I first moved here. You know, they got like 9 huge wells or whatever that are really down far into the aquifer. So the water's all well water. They still do treat it once in a while when it becomes like later spring, when the ground really starts to thaw out. They treat it with chemicals. So I'm always testing my water at least once or twice a week whenever I do a water change. Like a simple trick that I learned from one of the big boys at Aquarium Co-op, or Corey. Why use the 1-hole stick? Those pads are pretty wide. Cut it right down the middle, and you can double up on how many test strips you have. You don't need such a big test strip to test your water. So that's what I did. That was an awesome DIY hack, or, you know, hack for test strips, you know.
Shout out to Curly Bunny. She says, I bought Aquarium Cop, his lucky number 13th tank. Looking at it right now. Love it. That's a nice one.
Right? Oh, yeah. And if you guys are looking for, not that I'm promoting it, but if you guys are interested in some of my swag, I know there's better sites up now, but I have, actually, that reminds me, I want to buy a hooded sweatshirt and a short sleeves shirt of one of the shirts I put up on Teespring. But it's in the description on the chat. Feel free, check it out. Carlos did the all the graphics or whatever. I just used the current one. I think I'm going to update it to the HD one that he gave me, which reminds me, I got to get then Jardin or Jadrin a PM and say, hey, I know you said you were going to make some stickers for me, buddy. Where are they at?
Yeah, he talking about you know, he was doing it for everyone free and all that. He probably got you. He's gonna hook you up.
Well, now, he was waiting for an HD photo, and I told Carlos, because he's the one that made my logo.
Okay.
I told logo because it was in a lower quality format, so he gave me the HD thing. So it's been probably like two and a half weeks since I sent it to him. But he's got his own business with designing logo. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and he also got he said you can also go on his website. For anybody that's listening in the chat and you want to start your own sticker, you could go on the website and create your own sticker there, y'all. And that's pretty cool.
Yep. So yeah, check that out.
Yeah, so Brother Savage love, y'all. If y'all got chance, y'all got a few extra dollars, support my brother Captain Savage, y'all. Get some merch, y'all.
Yeah, or if you don't want the merch, but you want to show your support, I got a Patreon link down there. You could donate a one-time thing of $1, whatever. It's not required. I appreciate whatever's there. I'm not in it for the money, but if you're ever interested in doing that stuff, that's awesome. Like I said, not needed. Just you showing up in the chat, being productive and asking questions is more than enough support for me. I do it all for the fish fam anyways, you know, and do it to help me out with my personal stuff, you know. Be out here and talking and chatting with people.
Definitely.
So what time is it? I gotta watch my time. Oh shit, it's 3:15. My son's gonna be waking up at about 5:30, 6 o'clock, and like playing on his tablet. So I probably should get some sleep here shortly. So I'll go to 3:30, even though I said, yeah, Steve Carlos, good as always, or Island Queen, one of the two, or any of them. Nisi, always good about posting links in here. Check out Captain Savage, Aquarium Cop, anyone that's a moderator can post the links from there. Check out his Patreon for Captain Savage. I got a sense now that I've started getting a lot more overtime with work. I can start resubscribing or up my donations to people, because I do donate to a lot of any fish fam that's on Patreon, whether it's $1, you know what I mean? I've done donations all the way up to 25, 30 bucks before, when the money was coming in pretty steadily and I was having a decent amount of overtime. I believe in supporting people, you know? So It's not that I like to put money back in. As much money as I get, I try to put the same amount, if not more, back into the fish fam. Whether it's through super chats or their Patreon account, you know, throwing them like, you know, if they have tiers or whatever, or just a one-time donation of, you know, a couple bucks, 10 bucks, 20 bucks. If I can do it, I'll do it. You know?
But at the end of the day, man, you know, it is what it is, because we all gotta find an avenue for ourselves, man. So if we can find people that represent and support us, then why not, man? And like I said, it's not like we're putting a gun to nobody's head. We definitely appreciate the support from each other.
Yeah, because actually on your channel, do you have 4,000 watch hours yet, or 240,000 minutes yet?
I have like 200,000 something minutes that I've seen, but I know that when I checked on my when I go like to, let's say, Google Chrome, right, and then I go through the YouTube Creator Studio through there, and the last time I try to check the monetization thing, it shows something like this was like a couple of days back when I went to make sure, remember I was telling you guys that I ain't finished the step and I didn't know how to get to the monetization. I finally found out how to do it. So I went through the steps again and I did it. I know the last time I seen it in the bottom of the little page there, I seen that it says at the time 3,099 hours.
So you need another, you know, 901 hours.
Yeah. So honestly,
with the amount of live streams you do, every person that's in here, like 13 people watching, any minutes is 13 minutes going by. So when there was like 20 and 21 and 22 people in here, that's 22 minutes every minute. You know what I mean? Like, no joke, like I was telling Jason and other people on my other live streams, was like, yeah, at one point, like it hit a point where like for a 2 or 3 day span, I had like 43 or 4,400 hours.
Yeah, and let me go right now. Let me go while we're here. Let me go to my creator studio real quick.
Yeah, no problem. It's all about supporting the fish family. What's our?
It says watch time, right? It says analytics last 28 days, right?
Yeah, no. For your overall, it's the last year for your hours. They go back 12 months.
Oh, all right, but I'm talking about recently, so you could tell me how it adds up, right?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
It says
Go ahead.
Last 28 days, 40,433 minutes.
Yeah, right.
And then it says views 9,871. Then it says subscribers plus 38. And obviously it says your estimated revenue is 0.
Well, because you got the subscribers. What do you have? 1.3 or 1.4K subs now?
It's almost at 1,100.
Oh, okay. I was taking a rough guess. I knew you were over 1,000, so yeah. I'm trying to hit that 1,000 mark. I'm sitting at 772. But I was gonna say, a good thing for you to download. You said you have TubeBuddy, right, or whatever, the Creator Studio.
Yeah.
If you get TubeBuddy, it's free. Nothing says you have to pay for the monthly thing. I do pay for the monthly, like the premium, the ultimate, or whatever it's called. which is $30 a month or $40 a month.
From
But it
YouTube?
gives you, it's TubeBuddy, TubeBuddy.com. Go there. You can download the free add-on for Google Chrome. Put that in, and then it'll give you easy access to all the other shortcuts. Right there, you just click the TV, red TV, and that'll give you more stats and suggest keywords. Also, Video IQ. It's VidIQ.com. Go there, put that app in, and it'll actually give you, for the last 12 months, like it's showing me at 1,300 hours and some change. It just says two numbers, but it says 1.3K. Okay. Last 60 minutes, it'll say I've had 4 views the last 60 minutes. Okay. The last 48 hours, I've had 27. Last 7 days, I've had 145. Of course, when I was streaming all the time and putting content out, there was like more like 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 views. You know what I mean? Over 7 days. You know, not a lot of views, but enough for me just getting back into the game after a 5-month break. You know?
Yeah.
So let's see. Video IQ will tell you the last 12 months how many hours watched you have. Last 60 minutes, last 48 minutes or 48 hours, last 7 days. How many minutes watched in the last 7 days, which is way down. Normally I'm sitting at 8,000, 10,000 minutes watched, right?
Yeah.
For a week, but sometimes when I was hurt, no joke, I was having days where I was getting 15,000 minutes, 20,000, 30,000 minutes in a day. You know what I mean? Because I'd live stream for like 8 hours, then I'd take like an hour break or half-hour break, then I'd live stream for another 6 hours. You know, literally 90% of my day I streamed for, and I would sleep for like an hour, hour and a half because my back killed me so bad. Or I'd only sleep for 20 or 30 minutes. You know?
Yeah, I think the way you're saying it, like you said, is more accurate when I go through like the Chrome to the automatic YouTube through the back way like that. But then when I download this the Creator Studio app, it's kind of like how you say, it's just like an app, and then it has, you know, basically your dashboard videos, playlists, comments, analytics. You know, you can get into YouTube through here.
Now, the one thing I will say with TubeBuddy is if you like TubeBuddy and you pay for even the basic package, which is, I think, like $9 a month or even $5, I can't remember, because there's a discount code or whatever you can use that'll give you 50% off for a first-time person that's buying in. Like, you can download the TubeBuddy app where it'll show up like onto your phone, whether you got whatever, an iPhone or an Android-based phone, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Those two operating systems. You download it. You can get notifications. Like I use, hold on, I'll look on my phone. I got the TubeBuddy app on here.
Yeah, so the way this shows it, the analytics, it says like real-time views, 48 hours, it says like 1,100.
Mm-hmm.
And then it'll go, like I said, it'll go down like that. It says watch time minutes, last 28 days, views, last 28 days, and then it says average durations, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So let's see. I got TubeBuddy, like I said, on my phone. I got YouTube Studio, YT Studio, which is TubeBuddy. I like it a little bit better. Obviously, both of them you can edit like a video from, like go in there and change the description, add tags. TubeBuddy will suggest like 2 or 3 tags for you based on what your description is and what other tags you use in your video, because tagging your videos appropriately is how you rank higher. It can rank on like number 1, number 2, or in the top like 15 on the recommended or suggestions based on the videos you watch. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fish Tropics is Savage. What's up, Fish Tropic? Sorry, I don't know if he's trying to get my attention. If you really wanted to get my attention, you could just do the @ at Captain Savage, and then it'll highlight on my screen so I actually pay attention. There's a lot of people in the chat, and it's been rolling by. Normally I read it verbatim, but since you're in here, I like to keep the conversation going with you. So I got the YouTube app installed on my phone, the YT Studio app, and the TubeBuddy app. I'm sure Video IQ probably has an app, but I'm not worried about that right now. So I think I just broke the other pin in my chair. This chair does not last because I like to lean back, and if you notice when I'm sitting here and talking, I have a bad habit. If a chair can move back, I'll end up rocking in it, and I'm not even realizing I'm doing it. My mother used to rock me a lot when I was a child or a baby.
That's how sometimes I rock myself to sleep, bro. If I can't sleep good, I gotta shake my legs. That's how I go to sleep.
Oh yeah, same thing. I feel you. I definitely feel you on that one. I've done that. Come on, get over here. I hit the buttons on the side of my mouse, and it like cuts my live feed back to like a minute, an hour back, 3 hours. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Because it says I've been streaming. The stream started roughly 3 hours ago, or slightly more. So I've been streaming for 3 hours. Put a 32 ounce beer behind your back. The lumbar support. The colder, the better. Pop the top. Curly Bunny EMT says, I like the hotkey too. Laugh out loud. Okay, I don't know. I'm coming in on that conversation late, so. Oh, my damn mouse. This is so aggravating. Now I'm regretting having 2 screens.
Dr. S says, I'm literally watching Snoop Dogg on LA's Kong's game, laughing out loud. Perfect time.
Yeah, right.
DPK says, yes, I have cookies and cream, triple chocolate fudge, ice cream, and waffle cones. Pass me some of that.
That sounds awesome. You know what I could go for? Some double stuffed Oreos.
Shit, anything right now. I ate a freaking brownie earlier. That shit did it for me.
Yeah, right. I love brownies. They're the bane of my existence. My ass and my hips love brownies. Yeah. Late night, I don't care. And I've had my videos, I'm sure I've had my videos get negative remarks because it's supposed to be public or family live stream or whatever. But my stuff's always should be probably age restricted. But
yeah, that's why I definitely on my YouTube like the creator studio and all that. You know, when I was trying to set up my my hangouts and all of that, yeah. I set that all up like age restriction. So when we curse and say whatever we curse, they can't really mess with us.
Oh yeah, but I don't do it. But if they want to put mine, because they can just switch your video to age restricted. I mean, I can't monetize anything. You know, between you and I and everyone else here, I don't like what YouTube did to the little streamers, because even though I didn't have very many dollars in advertising, I probably earned like $35-40 in advertising fees. As far as I read, anyone, when they switched that, anyone they were supposed to pay out. And I never saw any money. You know what I mean? Because I have my bank account linked to pretty much everything. You know what I mean? Not that I should, but I do.
You know? I can tell you this much, like I said, if it's true, like how you said, when you know you had content for a while and you have all this stuff on YouTube for years, and then you finally make the hours or whatever, and if they do compensate you, then that's legit. If not, it is what it is.
Oh yeah, I'm not, like I said, not that I'm in the money for not in the, for the money. Boy, would I love to be able to say, forget my job, even though, you know, my job can be very rewarding, working with people that, in a way, have it worse than us. You know what I'm saying? You know, some of them may be really independent.
Yeah, I mentioned that yesterday, that if it's not, we hung with nobody, you know, you can't be mad at nobody's hustle. If someone finds an avenue or niche where they're willing to stay home and they're willing to pay you to enjoy your fish with you, then why not?
Oh yeah, like I'll just because I get views and stuff, like after a while, you know what I mean, you start getting a couple thousand views per video you put out. Live stream, you know how certain bigger YouTubers complain that they end up, when they live stream, they end up losing subs, or it's not worth them live streaming as much as they used to, because honestly, their videos get 50, 60, 100,000 views. When they live stream, they get not even half that. You know what I mean?
Yep, and like I told you guys, I always noticed it with me, and I noticed this a long time ago when I started when I started getting my subscribers up, when I first got to my 100, my first 200. I always noticed that whenever you notice in your subscriptions that you lose a few people, that means you're gonna end up getting another wave of people coming in. And believe it or not, that really does happen. Like if you lose 5, 6 people, you're gonna end up getting 10, 15 more people coming in real soon. Like it's like the way they do it. They flush out some people and then they let you recruit some more.
Yeah. Well, what they do is YouTube's policy, anyone that's been inactive on your channel, I think for 30 or 60 days straight, where they haven't watched a video or given you a like or something on a video, they automatically get dropped off the YouTube algorithm. Unsubscribed you from those people. Say, you know, I think I got, I don't know, 12 or 1,300 people I'm subscribed to. There's no way I can watch that much content. Now, some people don't have any content. I'm the sub to them, so every so often I got to resub back up to them because YouTube's algorithm is trying to flush out, and I think in a way keep the bigger YouTubers from having bloated sub counts where they have more bargaining power with YouTube and get better sponsorships because they have millions upon millions of people, and they could have a couple 100,000 people that are inactive. You know what I mean? So it's kind of across the board they did that. I think it's a good thing because honestly, if someone's not being active and watching your content, you know, they're either not saying they're not part of the fish family, but maybe they lost interest in the hobby, or
they just not participating. That's it.
Yeah, non-participation. I don't have a problem with them unsubbing people that haven't participated in a while, because sometimes people take a break from social media. Like, they just do it because they're tired of it. Yeah, so I don't know. But I think, honestly, E-Money, I'm going to call it because my son's going to get up and, you know, or maybe I'll call it when I'm done with this first beer I've been having and nursing.
I understand, my brother. You already know it's been great talking to you, bro. Love is love always, man. You heard?
Yep, exactly. I appreciate you stopping in because I know other people had other issues, like Fish Tropic with his phone needing to be charged. And I know sometimes in the chat you lose interest with what's going on when you're in the Google Hangouts or other stuff comes up. So I appreciate everyone that stopped in. Fish Tropic, I don't think Nick the Dick stopped in, but everyone that's in this channel, I appreciate it. Much love to the Fish Fam. I appreciate everything you guys do for the hobby, and watching me and E-Money and that Google Hangouts is awesome. Just the straight up support is great.
And I second that.
Well, like, it's just awesome. I truly appreciate everyone that watched me for this long, you know, being like 3 hours plus in on a live stream.
It's only the beginning, my brother. We're gonna stay closer, man. We're gonna make sure we stay closer, man. It's a new year, it's a new wave, baby. Don't worry, we on it now.
Oh yeah, I know. My problem. I know what my problem is. Where I can blame myself for this is I had some breaks where I took 3 and 4 or 5 months off straight, or a couple months or a month and a half. And when you do that, then the consistency is not there, so you lose subscribers.
Yes, and not only that, you lose the wave. You lose the wave because, like I said, I got into a wave when I started getting my flower horns, where I was just on Facebook with these Facebook flower horns group, and I kind of like was stuck over there, investing a lot of time and energy over there, because like there's a big community when it comes to the flower horns on Facebook. I'm down with the UFA, United Flower Horn Association page there and all that, and there's amazing people, amazing fish there, and you know, you stay busy and then you kind of forget about your other page and your other, you know, channels. But I was stuck there for a while, and then I was stuck on 700, and then I came back and I got back on my grind and I made my 1,000. And it's all about being consistent and showing people that you back and that you here for them and they here for you, and you ride out together, man.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, everyone's saying, yeah, awesome stream. I know we go on a side tangent. I try to make the first half hour of my content actually towards the fish hobby. We always circle back and talk about fish again at some point, because it's like, oh yeah, we've been talking about this real life shit, this BS for the last hour and a half. Maybe we should get back on fish stuff when I start noticing the count dropping.
That's where we're gonna start. How can I say finessing it? Where we have more people on the panel, more people on the chat. Like you already know. Like you have Fish Tropic, DPK. Those people are there on the chat. They're all entertaining each other, and they're
yeah. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, definitely not, bro. You already know. So I'm a get off so you could do what you do, and I appreciate you letting me come on your platform, my brother. And you already know, man. Love is love always, brother.
Oh yeah. Well, I'll have to one of these times get on yours live stream.
I definitely got to get the hangouts fixed. Yo, when I get those hangouts fixed, man, like we're gonna do it. We're gonna be jumping from channel to channel to channel, like a whole bunch of car hopping whores.
Yeah, right. I agree. That's all. And DPK says, or Carlos says, I think getting to know each other is amazing. Exactly. This was really fun. I mean, the chat's been off the hook tonight, so that's awesome. Very therapeutic, says Carlos. But thank you again. If you're just watching this, this video will be posting up after this, the stream's done. Please comment, like, subscribe. If you do not like this content, because we're all over the place, please let me know why if you put a dislike. Either way, thank you for watching, and take it easy. I'll catch you later tonight.
Peace, brother.
Peace. Take it easy, man. Now, if my mouse will let me get to the stop button. Night much live, everyone. Thank you all for being here, says Carlos. I'll just keep chatting until I can get my mouse over to the stop broadcast button. Damn it. There it is. All right. Thanks out. Peace. Have a good night or a good day, good Sunday. Have a blessed Sunday. Take it easy.